with the pen, I'm learning life. My face is divine, words inspired with perfect time. Nurtured right, them man there be learning lines, rehearsing life. Trust me, far from certified. Acting while you sleep, I'm working nights. I want all the ups to feel like that yearning guy on Merseyside.
Yes, guys. Yes, people. It's that time of the day again. We're back for another live stream, back for another transfer update show for you guys. Plenty to get into as always. We're going to be talking about the Timo Werner to RB Leipzig deal that should be confirmed and announced by the club tomorrow. We're talking about the Fofana and De Jong situations. We've now actually been linked with Wilfried Zaha. So as you know, I'm in a good mood. I got the little Crystal Palace jersey on and everything. We'll discuss the Wilfried Zaha situation. We'll discuss interest in Hudson-Odoi, Frenkie de Jong as well. Malang Sarr's loan to Monaco should also be completed in the next day or two as well. So we're going to be discussing that too. And as always, check out Jerseys FC down in the description below for all your highest quality football jerseys and your best quality Chelsea kits as well. And use the code CarefreeLewisG to get 20% off. Check out Prayer for the Ops. My guy Flawless dropped a hard track. Check it out in the description below. Drop a like, comment, all of that. You already know. And yeah, big up everyone that's in here. Big up Mike Majors, Wilkidge, Daniel, Jesters, Timo Werner, Catman, Michael, Santiago, SU. Big up everybody that's in here. Liam Lane, MKZ Stars. A lot of the same names as always. Yeah, let us know your thoughts on all the transfer news down in the description below. Plenty to get into. Matt saying thoughts on AC backing out of the Barcelona game from a period group. He had neck issues and I don't know what happened. He ain't a Chelsea player no more. I can't say too much. All I'm gonna say is best wishes. Get well soon to the Danish Maldini and drop your farewell and your good wishes in the comment section. Big up everybody that is in here. A lot of people talking about Wilfried Zaha. Now, I saw from, who was it? Alex Crooks. He said Chelsea have been encouraged to make a move for Palace talisman Wilfried Zaha with the attacker keen on making the switch. Ben Jacobs also said on Gem's stream a few minutes ago, if you haven't checked it out, check it out. Chelsea will assess the Zaha situation and he is a target for the club. Zaha would be keen on a move to Stamford Bridge. Again, all speculation. We haven't actually gone into talks. We haven't dropped a bid or anything like that yet. But he is seen as a target and unsurprisingly, he is keen on a move to Stamford Bridge. The guy's been held up on a death row contract at Crystal Palace for the last 5 years. Kind of his fault for signing a long-term deal at Crystal Palace. Same thing with Kane and Son at Tottenham. You signed a long-term contract. Don't be pissy if the club don't let you leave. But now there's 1 year left. I do think now's the opportunity where you could prize him away from Crystal Palace. And we need creativity. We need goal-scoring threat from the wings, and he gives us that. He's a pressing winger as well. Most foul player in the league. He has a good take-on success rate. Killer pass, Premier League proven. You know how much everyone loves that. I feel like this is a deal that we could get done for around something under the 50 million mark, if you ask me. But all depends on what happens when we go into talks. Let me know you guys' thoughts, and we'll read a couple of you guys' comments. If you want to guarantee your comment gets read out as well, drop a super chat. Helps the channel out a lot. I'm not telling you to do it, but I would greatly appreciate it. We also have over 200 of you guys in here already from the start. So let's try and get to 200 likes before I send the link out to the rest of the panel. I know there's over 150 of you guys in here that haven't liked the button. So press that like button, hit the subscribe button as well. So you know when we drop any new streams or content. And yeah. Let's see what you guys are saying. Matt's saying when's the jersey giveaway? Bro, we already did it. Rego Park won it. It's already on his way to him. Big up for messaging me as well. We have sent the kit out, so it should be with you within the next week or two. Just let me know when it drops. But yeah, what you guys say? Yeah, Zaha is 29, and I'm not reading your name out because I'm not getting clipped up like that. But so what? That I don't understand this belief that as soon as a player turns over 30, they're washed. It's not the case. Really isn't the case. Players are playing in their prime into their mid-30s, into their early to mid-30s. So you could get a good 3 to 4 years out of Wilfried Zaha still. The motivation will be there. He needs to win trophies. He needs to leave some sort of legacy behind. And he hasn't done anything because he hasn't won anything. So I feel like there's incentive from him. He isn't going to come in and just be here for the paycheck or anything like that. And he'll be our second best forward. So I'm all for it. All for it. Never done it at a big club. He only went to Man United for a year and Moyes never gave him a chance because I think he beat his daughter or something like that. And it's just a bit petty from him in all honesty. Like, I get maybe don't shit where you eat and all of that, but it takes two people to beat. So can't be pissed at Wilfried Zaha over it. So that's on Man United. And plus, they finished 7th without him, so Moyes can hold that. What else are you guys saying on the Zaha stuff? I said there's any maths questions. No, we are not reading those names. You are not clipping me up. No chance. Werner, Alonso, and Kepa gone in one window. So glad. Lukaku gone as well. We are clearing out all of the deadwood. And I thought it would take longer to get rid of a couple of these names. And he's already done it. I will say, though, people shouldn't be complaining about the price tag on these players. I saw, like, the Timo Werner alleged price tag has been going further and further down from, like, 25 plus add-ons to now I'm hearing about 20 and add-ons or potentially 15 and add-ons. Don't complain, because why should you care? We've wanted Werner to be gone for ages. And I mean that respectfully now. Timo Werner's left. I'm not going to sit here and keep slagging him off. I wanted him gone. He's gone. I'll appreciate him for the effort and the work rate, but he needed to leave. For the benefit of himself, he needed to leave for the benefit of Chelsea Football Club as well. We're all happy with the sort of deal. He's taken a lower pay cut to leave. It is what it is. Like, I'm happy he's gone. Timo Werner, Independence Day and all of that, but I ain't going to keep slagging him off. And no one should be complaining about the price tag either. If we got 5 million for this player, I would have been fine with it. The fact we were able to get, the fact we even heard 25 to 30 million is an absolute madness. So to me, Werner, save for the decoy run in the Champions League final, the performances against Southampton and Real Madrid, but it is what it is. It was never going to work out. I think the deal is going to be announced by Leipzig around Tuesday, Wednesday. Fabrizio said medical deals will take place on the Tuesday. Both the clubs are preparing documents to be signed today. The final details of the add-on structure is to be discussed with Chelsea, but the deal is done. There's just minute details that need to be sorted out between the two clubs, and then he'll be gone. And then we can try and look at the good sides, I guess. There wasn't a lot. Let me know your favorite Werner moments down in the comment section below. But just glad that he's gone. Glad that he's gone. If you watch Zaha against Arsenal, you just couldn't be asked. I only watched the Arsenal game in phases, really, but I heard Ben White had him in his back pocket. Is what it is, though. Like, I'm not going to judge a player based off one game. Wilfried Zaha had his best season for Palace last year. He scored 14 goals in the league for them, which I think was the same as Havertz, Werner, and was it Pulisic or Ziyech combined? So, yeah, regardless, I still want Wilfried Zaha. But I know you want him as well, Jester, so I'm not saying that to get at you. Alex is talking about Astra doing TikTok dances in the away end. It is what it is. I'm not going to be the one to slag off people for bringing their phones out in the away end. It would come across as very hypocritical. But yeah, bit cringe. The Moyes thing was a rumour. Never happened. Then I don't know why he didn't play. Because United was so wank that season. Makes no sense. Do you see the reports about the dinner Todd organised in which he approached for Cucurella and Carney? Smart move from him. Like I already said, people complaining about Todd Bowley going out to dinners and everything when he should be focused on sorting out signings. He really ain't got a clue, man. Like, the guy's just come in to a completely new industry. He has to meet his competitors. He has to make contacts. He has to network. And that networking gives him the perfect opportunity to discuss transfers. Why are people complaining? Well, why were people complaining about it? Now signings are actually coming through. I don't think people are going to be talking about it with the same energy. But the panic was just silly. It really was just silly. Worry about the fact that no players were coming in, but don't sit here and get pissy at Todd Bowley for it. The whole reason why we were so late in the transfer window was because of the sanctions, was because of Marina leaving, Czech leaving. We had all change in terms of the backroom staff. So with that, we're going to be a bit slower as a result. People complaining about it made absolutely no sense. GoM says, did you see your idol Pendu pull urinated to victory against Brighton? Hey, apparently when he came off the bench, United started playing better. And they scored afterwards, so I'm still not going to say anything. But I want my goal scorer. It doesn't have to be Ronaldo, though. It can be Aubameyang. We are still linked with him. And I'll still take him to the bridge immediately as well. So here's what it is. Bring Klasref on to see his thoughts. I can't lie. From what I heard last night, I think Klasref has retired from the streams, which is a real shame. We lost Timo Werner and we lost Klasref. But is what it is. Is what it is. Time Werner cleared a goal off the line, can't be. Oh, Zaha cooked white. Oh, might be the other way around. I like Fortnite. I mean, well, I hope he's more clinical there at least. Do you go with Brozier down the middle against Spurs or stick with Havertz? We're going to stick with Havertz against Spurs regardless. I would be very surprised if Brozier started that game. But we said this season is make or break for him. We can't judge Havertz based off one performance, even though he was terrible. Like, see how he plays against Spurs. Big game player and all that. Tottenham's a big game. We'll see what happens. See what happens. If he continues to play poorly, then look at Brozier as an option. But you can't say it right now. You really can't. If you say put Brozier in for the second game against Spurs, Tuchel ain't going to do it. And that would be more of an agenda, in my opinion. Because, like we said, we've got to give him at least a couple of games. Give him a run of games. See if it's the same performances or see if he can finally start to piece himself together. If he continues to play this way over the next few weeks, bench him 100%. Or if we get an actual striker in, then we can afford to do it. But as of right now, we only have Sterling in the door. So I still think the same front three is going to play against Tottenham. I would rotate if there were better options, but I don't really think there are right now. And Brozier only had about 10-15 minutes to show himself against Everton, so we can't say too much. Everyone's talking about De Jong. Let's go into the De Jong stuff. One sec. I need to do something with the chat. We're getting spammers again. One sec. Bear with me, guys. Smash the likes while we're doing this. Still not at 100 likes, and we got nearly 500 of you in here. Come on, guys. Run with it. Run with it. Okay, let's talk about Frenkie de Jong. Chelsea are ready to pay the full transfer fee and cover Frenkie de Jong's current deferred salary with Barcelona. Ornstein said Chelsea have a firm interest, and while it's understood they are yet to submit a formal bid, sources indicate they're prepared to fund the transfer fee and cover the salary debt should de Jong pick a switch to Stamford Bridge. They have an advantage over Madrid in playing Champions League football this season, and because London is a more attractive destination than Manchester, although it's thought that alone will not determine his potential destination. Chelsea have spoken to his agent and have had positive talks. He is open to the move. The preference is to stay at Barcelona, but he's starting to realise he might not have a choice other than to leave. The only real hold-up is his deferred wages, but Chelsea seem willing to fund it. Now, to me, if we were getting a lower transfer fee, and that would be because of the 17 million that he's owed, I think that would be a good way to even things out. But it seems Chelsea are willing to pay the full 80 million that United were going to pay, as well as the 20 million in wages too. And then you got to take into effect the base wage that he's going to ask to be on anyway. Does seem like we're being fleeced. Like, it really does. But for the quality of the player and the longevity, is it worth it? You guys got to let me know in the comment section. Like, for me, because it's Frenkie de Jong, is the reason why I'm not saying walk away from the deal immediately. Because I think he's a great long-term investment to the squad. If we can have him here for 5 years, it's a good base for us to build around. And we do have to overspend at this point of the window anyway. I've stated that numerous times. That's just the situation we're in. And we have so many areas of the squad that we have to strengthen. If a world-class option comes for one of those areas, you should take it. Because once we have the spine of the squad sorted, maybe we could be a bit more frugal with our spending in future windows. But because we have so many areas of the squad that we have to strengthen right now, I think if the money's there and we're willing to spend it and it's a world-class addition to the squad, it is what it is. Maybe we have to take the hit. It's not my money anyway, so I don't really care too much. Like, I don't think for the likes of Frenkie de Jong it's that deep, as long as we have the resources to be able to do it. And we clearly do, because we're pushing ourselves forward on this sort of deal. But let me know what you guys are saying in the comment section. Let me know you guys' thoughts. Yeah, I need to go forward a little bit more. Everyone's just talking about Klazaref leaving. Yeah, it is what it is. Let us know your favourite Klazaref thoughts too. History shows he'll play terribly till January. I fucking hope not, because then I'm going to be on his neck. But I'm not going to say too much in the first few weeks. Because if I do, they'll say I have an agenda. And, you know, we can't deal with the Havertz stands like that. He won us the Champions League and all of that. Give him a few weeks. Is what it is. De Jong is worth it. World class. Nah, screw that. Barca are bending us over. It is. It is what it is. But if it's for a player of Frenkie de Jong's quality, take it. Take it. Because he's a brilliant addition to the squad. Can play as a 6, can play as an 8. Technically unbelievable. And he'd actually give us passing from midfield, which we lack. We lack a lot of. Should we sign Frenkie de Jong or someone like Rice? We're not going for a back 4. This is the problem. Like, guys, we got to get this back 4 thing out of our head. Until we get more additions up front and in midfield, we're not doing it yet. We're not doing it. So, not right now. If we pay those deferred wages to get de Jong, I'll go on loan. Why? De Jong would be a great addition to the squad. Like, it is what it is. If it was for... I don't know. Who's a washed midfielder? I don't know. Like, let's say Bruno or something. If we were putting the sort of deal out for a Bruno, then I'd get it. Go on loan. It's fucking Frenkie de Jong. He's one of the best midfielders in the world. I don't mind it. This is not our money to complain about. I care about the player that you're going for. If it was for a bummy player, I would be the same thing as you. But it's not. I was not going to say N'Golo. I was not. You're putting words in my mouth. That's not fair. That's not fair. I actually thought Kante's been all right the last few weeks too. That's actually such a bastard comment. That is a bastard comment. Right. Mendy is in talks of a new contract despite still having 3 years left. Surprised by it, especially if there is 3 years left. But I'd wait to see how he performs over the coming weeks before we do it. Last thing he needs is a pay rise when your form isn't completely great. But he was decent against Everton. So gauge it off the first few weeks. We paid 100 million for Lukaku and you guys are scared to pay for Frenkie. There. That is the quote right there. We clearly are okay with throwing money. Look at our top 10 signings. Except for Jorginho, they are all flops. All of them. I would rather have a top signing there that I know is going to play well in Frenkie de Jong. Look, we spent like over 50 million on the likes of Pulisic, Lukaku, Havertz. Who else? Werner was just about 50 million. Torres. Who else? There's other players I'm missing as well. And the majority were flops. The only one that's outright been a success for us is Jorginho, and half the fan base would still even debate if that was a success. So if Frenkie de Jong's there and we know his quality, run for it. I don't get why people are hiding behind that. It's probably because they know it's going to Barca. And I get that. I get that. Fuck Barcelona. But it's Frenkie de Jong. If he's up for sale and he's willing to come to Chelsea, don't let the opportunity go. Don't let it go. Kante was... I'm not going to talk about Kante's performance. I thought he was all right. I thought his breakup play was brilliant, but the forward passing, again, let him down. Is what it is. I'm not going to speak too much on it. It's a terrible quote. Lukaku's signing is proof that we shouldn't spend. You guys don't learn. No, it is proof that you should be smart with your spending. Not that we shouldn't spend. Look at our squad. Like, we should spend. Like, we 100% should spend. We need additions in nearly every aspect of the pitch. Except left wing back. Except left wing back. Potentially in goal if Kepa stays. And that's it. We need strikers. We need midfielders. We need right wing back depth. And we need another centre back. So yeah, we do need to spend. We 100% do. Oh yeah, Morata as well. Fuck me, imagine Morata. Kepa. Yes, Kepa. How did I forget Kepa? Boy. Yeah, let me know you guys' thoughts. There was a few other topics as well. Hudson-Odoi. Dortmund rekindled their Hudson-Odoi interest after he's left out of Chelsea's matchday squad. Feels like 2021 again. And we should have just let that happen then, because he might have come back a much better player. But hey, we needed wing-back depth. So we left Hudson-Odoi here for a year for no reason. Nizar Kinsella says it seems he's less of a part of Chelsea's plans than ever before. Loan or permanent deals are possible. And I think for a loan, like, I'd rather you go on loan to a Premier League side personally. I know Southampton's interested, Leicester City's interested. The Bundesliga, I've already said, is a social distancing league. And he'll play well there, but I feel like there's a lot more that he can learn from dealing with tougher defenses in the Premier League, or different teams and different styles of play that you have to play against. Like in the Premier League, you have pressing teams, you have possession-based teams, you have counter-attacking teams. You have teams that play deep blocks. You have teams that play high lines, all sorts of things. In the Bundesliga, it's just high line FC. Everyone goes all out attack. And that'll be good for him to like deal with attacking situations and everything like that. But I want to see how he fares against low blocks too. The Premier League gives you so much more different scenarios as the Bundesliga does. So I wouldn't say no to him going to Dortmund, because he'll still get Champions League football there too. I would rather see him go to a Premier League club. But the key thing is, he has to go. He cannot be in the squad for this season. We are holding him back for another year if we do that. And if we do that, the next year, you'd just rather sell him. And if that's the case, you're going to sell him for less money than you would get if you loan him out, because then you give him a season to impress. I said Clap Cheeks and Chovid should be a 2-for-1 deal like fish and chips. That is mad. That is absolutely mad. We have wasted money before, so it justifies spending more. Well, what's the other option? We just keep the trash that we have and then just hope they finally turn around? No, you have to go and get better players. If you make bad signings, that's on you for making bad signings. Now you have to go out and you have to get good signings. It's as simple as that. Why? Because we had a bad season and a bad transfer window, people are happy with the players that we still have that were the problem the year before. That does not make sense. That does not make sense at all. Was there anything else? Did Werner? Fofana, like, there's going to be another bid this week. Chelsea have serious interest, and that's about it, really. We haven't heard too much on that. I'm going to send a link out to everyone, and yeah, let's talk about the shit. 600 plus of you guys in here, by the way. Big up everybody that is locked in. We've only got 100 likes. Guys, hit the like button. Please hit the like button. Right, let me send the link out to everyone. While I'm sending the link out, as always, guys, run the likes up. Cool. Hate this part of the stream. It's always so awkward because I'm just silent. Give me a sec, guys. Give me a sec. All right, cool. Sent it out to everyone. Perfect. Yes, guys. What is everyone saying? You guys all good?
Yeah, man. How you doing?
Yeah, man. All good. All good. Another week of transfer rumors, and maybe a player will join by the end of it. Yeah, happy. What's everyone saying? Jesters, I know you said you had a lot on your mind, so I'll start with you. What's up, my guy?
Yeah, well, I sent out a 2-part tweet last night. This fan base is absolutely clapped. We bitch about getting rid of the deadwood, and then when we get rid of the deadwood or players we don't think are useful anymore, we bitch about the price. Now, in what world does that make any sense whatsoever? Timo Werner.
What is?
People don't understand this. The biggest expense to a club is the wage bill, not transfer fees. Timo Werner is going to save us £17 million this year via wages. Plus the 17 you're going to get him for the initial fee plus add-ons. That's £34 million. In what world is
Ah,
that
you
not
sleeping.
good? I think he's breathing heavy.
No, I'm clapping. Sorry, I was laughing. I was
Just mouth
Oh,
breathing.
no, I
serious.
just heard you heavy breathing, bro. I thought you were asleep.
No.
So-
Use your nose,
Sorry.
man.
So we've almost cleared £1 million a week off the wage bill. £1 million a week is 52 million pounds a year. I had to keep doing the math because somehow people don't understand about how huge and bloated our wage bill has been.
Mhm.
Getting these people out is the best thing we can do. Whether you get pennies on the dollar, it doesn't matter. Get them gone. They're just a hindrance to the club right now. As far as the starting lineup for next week and going forward this year, if Wilfried Zaha comes in along with Aubameyang, which now looks less likely because Memphis Depay and Barcelona came to an agreement to cancel his contract, so he's a free agent. But they might have to move more than one big contract to register all their players. So Aubameyang is still possible. Mason Mount will not start in the front. He will be holding bench. If you go to the game on Saturday, Thomas Tuchel looked at Mason Mount and said, "You're sleeping on the pitch," and then yanked him off the pitch for Christian Pulisic at 65 minutes. I am tired of hearing that this guy is our best attacker. No, it's just a freaking low bar. You bring in better attackers than what we have right now, Mason Mount is holding bench. I don't want to hear any more about it. He's a number 8 playing as an attacker. And props to him for being a number 8 and being our best attacker last year. But we aren't winning anything with him in an attack because he's not that.
I
Yeah,
agree.
And
Totally
my last
agree.
round is
He was
back 3.
invisible.
I'm tired of hearing that we don't play offensive. Thomas Tuchel can't play offensive football. Does anybody realize that the season that he was at PSG, Neymar and Mbappe had huge seasons, and the great Pochettino, who everybody loves his football, they look like crap. Even Messi looked like crap. And this is the guy who plays champagne football, and everybody loves it. We play with 3 defenders. Most team plays with 4. We play with 3. So how is that defensive? The 2 wing backs are midfielders. I said this last year. Thomas Tuchel says it, and nobody understands. They are not defenders. They are midfielders with defensive responsibilities. And that's why Reece James and Chilwell are playing there, because when they drop into defense, it makes it even harder to score against us. But they are midfielders by the formation. So we play with 3 defenders. As far as I know, Man City, Liverpool all play with 4. That's 1 less defender on the pitch, folks. So y'all need to shut your muffin hole and just understand that you don't know crap about football when it comes to certain things. The people that are running this club, the coach that we had that won the Champions League, knows far more about football than any of us sitting here on this panel and anybody in chat. So I'm tired of hearing about it. Let them do their thing. And if we don't succeed, then you can bitch. But until that point, shut the hell up.
Facts. I don't think you said anything I disagree with on that front. One sec.
Well, if you heard Tuchel the other day when he was talking about his formation and people were asking about the offense, he essentially said, like, in his system, the wing backs are there to create, and really the front 3 are kind of on their own. Like, he basically said that. He said the front 3, they're going to probably require some individual fluidity, and they're going to have to do a lot of the creating and attacking on their own. Like, we sit with 2 holding midfielders. He's like, that 5 is always very low, and the wing backs are responsible for creating, and then the 3 up top are kind of up to them. So to be able to get guys like an upgrade, like a guy like Zaha who can create on his own, and I know at 29 had his best season last year. He scored 14 goals in the Premier League. those are the kind of guys that he's looking for. He needs guys who are able to create something offensively on their own up top and interchange with each other. Like, it's just a system we play right now until they get some other kind of midfielder. When we're playing with Jorginho and Conte, it's going to be like that. Those three up top are going to have to do something on their own. And if Mason was responsible for being the link up between the midfield and the attack last week, he struggled at that. he was non-existent for a large part of that game. And I do like him as a player, but he was very, very quiet. If he's supposed to be the guy that's responsible for linking that play. If not, then I don't know what he's there for, because he's not like a creative attacker, one-on-one guy. Like, that's not what he does. So if that's what you're going to ask him to do.
On the formation thing, like, the people do realize the ultimate goal of, like, the way, whether it's Pep's style of football or Tuchel's or Bielsa's is where it came from, is the ultimate goal is to end up with a 3-2-5 when you're attacking. That's the ultimate goal. You end up with 3 in defence, you end up with 2 in the midfield, whether that's 2 midfielders or the way Pep does it with 2 wing backs pinching in or 2 fullbacks or whatever, and then you end up with 5 in attack. That's the ultimate way of playing. Who those 5 are just depends on the personnel and the way you set up. So, like, for example, for us, most of the time it's the 3 up front and the 2 wing backs. For City, it's the 3 forwards and the 2 midfielders. And then you look at, like, the equivalent, and this isn't just me putting it on Mount, because it could be Mount, Pulisic, Ziyech, whoever. Look at who City have got. They've got Silva or Bernardo Silva providing those passes to the forward line. We've got Pulisic or Ziyech or Mount or had Werner or whoever else, and they're not good enough. They can't do what Werner does, or not Werner does, what De Bruyne does, or what Silva does.
Oh, yeah.
But also,
I thought he was pausing for the next breath.
but
How much
also,
was-
City's
How much you want to
central midfield. City midfield is much more creative than us in central. In the
Well,
central
they had
areas.
they had 2 shots on goal this weekend, so I wouldn't say all that.
But if we are looking at the game against West Ham, and then compare City's midfield against a 38-game season, that would be a different thing, because West Ham play on a counter attack. West Ham always sit deep.
Guys, let me know what's up with the audio, because I'm hearing something.
No, that was static from someone's mic, but it's gone now. That's what they were saying.
Yeah, and I keep hearing that Declan Rice is what we need. Well, Man City ran through him like shit through a goose.
Apparently, like,
he ain't nothing.
we're willing to bend ourselves over a barrel for Frenkie de Jong, but not even a talk for Declan Rice.
Well, Lewis,
It's all
the
mad.
manager wants him though. The manager wants Declan
He's
Rice.
the number 1 DM target. That's
This is
why
number 1.
we're fucked about
Yeah.
Declan Rice in the squad. We haven't even gone in for him.
Yeah, best friends
Well-
with Mount.
Calm down.
It's all mad.
Calm down. The reason why this is no conversation, because from the beginning of this window, when Chelsea asked him about it, they said no, and literally don't even answer the phone calls. They said there's not gonna happen this window. It's it. So it's
No,
it.
no,
We
no,
just
Look
no.
at this. Look at this party pooper, bro. Let me run my
No.
agenda.
If we get Frenkie de Jong this summer, Declan Rice won't play at Chelsea.
Exactly.
Oh, you
Frenkie?
want to make a bet?
Yeah, I do want to make a bet right now.
Oh, wow. So you think Frenkie de Jong is a DM?
Yes, he has defensive qualities. You can
Shut
play in the
up,
second
man.
ball.
Hell,
You-
dude, we
you
are
listen
not
to
going
this
through
game.
this again.
So more
There
than
are
you-
not
buddy,
just
buddy,
one
you
type
don't know
of
what you're talking
DM
about.
that plays. There are different types of DMs. He's a holding
Oh, please.
playmaker,
First watch
a
him,
deep
Alex.
line
You never
holding
watched him before.
playmaker.
Yes, I actually
Declan Rice
start
don't play
watching
DM
him.
anyway, so I don't know what you're talking
Good.
about. He
So if you
plays in
watch
a
him, you can see
pairing.
he has defensive qualities.
Matt.
Matt, I'm not the only one that said what I said about how your takes on the game. Not me, only one.
I don't
So
know
don't
what
make
you said.
personal, man.
Matt,
I just think I watch him.
No, positionally, he's
Okay, now.
good. He's smart and intelligent. But even Ten Hag himself said De Jong lacks positional, like, I guess, nous.
He
Like, he
wants the
doesn't.
freedom.
Yes, exactly.
If he's a
not
6, he
disciplined.
cannot have a freedom.
And don't
That's
you
not
think
true.
that? Don't
He
you
wants
think
to
that?
What do you
Frenkie-
mean that's not true? Okay,
what I
let's
said.
get his, because I was watching I start to look it up because we are so linked with her. Because I thought for a second that he's actually good he can do the DM job. He can do the DM job and be defensive, I think. Even Fragiolino has attempts of being a DM minded, but he can't because of his physicality. The only thing the difference gonna be is Frenkie de Jong, he's good defensive when it comes to he can bump a player with his body, but his positioning as a defensive midfield, 0 to none.
When have you seen him play there?
Where? And that's the problem. He didn't. He wasn't the one that always stayed deep. And Ajax, he wasn't the one. I looked at it, and I can actually tell you he wasn't the one. There was the other player. I forgot the name that stayed conservative.
In a single pivot, he played by himself though sometimes.
Yep.
In a single pivot. He played a 4-3-3 at Ajax, and he played in a single pivot by himself.
A single pivot.
Is this a static again? Is there a static again coming? Or is somebody's actually talking?
I'm just reporting you that he can play in a DM role.
He said himself
there's nothing on a single pivot. Anyways.
He said himself his favorite thing to do is to be the first guy to get the ball from the defense. He likes to get as deep as he can to get the ball from the defender and then turn around to make plays.
Exactly.
That's out of his own mouth. That's what he said his strongest suit is.
Is that a defensive guy? No, it's offensive guy.
Huh.
I promise you, if you think
Alex, why do you say he can't play the defensive midfield?
Why I say
Reason
he can't?
Yeah.
Common sense not tell you
because he does not have defensive awareness. His positioning as a defensive awareness. That's the problem as a DM.
Okay.
So
makes sense.
My thing is exactly if you really think what's his name? Just a suggestion, because I've looked at it last night closely to Jong. What midfielder do you think Chelsea has right now that De Jong slightly resembles as?
Kovacic?
Thank you. That's the Kovacic.
Jorginho.
Oh, for
no, more like Kovacic.
You see what I'm saying?
Hybrid, if so be the case.
Zero. I don't think you watched De Jong play thing because he actually.
If he thinks that, let him delve into it. Let him go into it. Go on.
No. Okay, Jester, go ahead because
first of all, Jorginho again is not a classical DM, right? We all know that. If you put him in a single pivot, he's going to get cooked. Okay.
Yeah.
We don't play with a single pivot anyway. Frenkie de Jong is a playmaker, a deep-lying playmaker, which is exactly what Thomas Tuchel wants in the back three. And guess what? Wants that in the back four as well, because he wanted him at PSG when he was there.
Right. I mean,
just because he can turn and run with the ball doesn't mean he's not a six.
Yeah, you could argue that's what we're missing big time is that midfielder to be able to get the ball, turn around, and make a play forward. Like that's really what one of our biggest keys. We don't have a midfielder right now, or at least not consistently, that is able to take the ball from a defender, turn around, and create something offensively. Like none of them really do that. No, I mean Kovacic can carry a little bit, but his passing is a bit suspect.
That's my point.
We need a player like this in our team big time. We have that that pass
but that's not the biggest problem at Chelsea right now. Because he is not Jorginho.
Frenkie de Jong, right? Can he develop the positional awareness or the positional sense to play the DM? Since y'all guys say he lacks that.
I don't think you want players to adapt to being a CDM.
Exactly. Why would you buy a player that's such a good in one thing just to play him out of position?
Where does Makelele start his career from?
I don't know.
I think we're also assuming that Tuchel would play him as like just a holding six. I don't know that Tuchel would play him like that. He would probably give him. He would probably the way we set up, we can protect him a bit in our setup. Like I think you ideally
you
just
right
want.
Question. You hit the right question. He is not the one that's gonna be. I don't think even Tuchel wants him to be the one that actually let Jorginho, like what I'm saying. Like he
wants him to create.
Exactly, he wants him to go up. He's a right signing for Chelsea, but for some reason, people think that he's going for Jorginho's spot, which is not. He is not in Jorginho. I did not know about De Jong in the first place. I actually thought that he was as a Jorginho replacement. When I looked at him yesterday closely, I looked at him on Ajax. I looked at him, Ajax. I looked at him when he went to Barcelona, and I specifically looked at him when he played the Championship League. The Championship League, he's the one that actually exactly looks like a Kovacic but with the better passer. When Kovacic, the way he gets the ball, turns with the ball and goes forward is brilliant. The minute that he hits the third side of the pitch, brainless. He overhits the ball or does something that nobody like Kante. My thing is, we get in De Jong not because it's a luxury signing, and we're not gonna use him as a proper if he comes this season. We still need for some reason we still need Jorginho replacement, because we're gonna with De Jong. You're gonna have those moments when he creates and gonna be a moment of brilliance.
I have a
But
question.
it won't be fixing the problem that we still have the same one, that we don't have a stable defensive midfielder that actually can be defensive awareness.
We're playing with a back three.
What?
We're playing with a back three.
Okay. My question. So, is the back three is still what's the name? Don't need the defensive mid. That's what you're saying.
We play with two sixes.
I know.
By Tuchel's own admission in front of the back three. So Kovacic is playing as a DM because 6 is a DM, right? So Kovacic is playing as a DM. Jorginho's playing as a DM. Conor Gallagher played as a DM.
Do you understand? It's funny, Jester. It's funny, Jester, that you the one that actually said it in the beginning. There is two kinds of DMs, right?
Yeah.
But you the one that actually accusing me that this is the DM, this is the DM. But when you said it yourself that there's a difference in DM.
Yes.
Okay. So please, if you tell me what's the difference between what's his name, DM Jorginho, and for example, it's going to be Gallagher. What's the difference between or Kovacic?
Athleticism and physicality.
Yeah. When you said that people don't know about the ball, you might want to look at the mirror.
That's
That's
exactly what I was about to say.
Because that's not what it is, man. And a DM.
Oh, man.
You're talking about a solo DM.
No.
We don't play with a solo DM, and I'm tired of hearing about it. Everybody thinks that solo DM has to be some sort of destroyer, and that's just for certain formations for certain coaches. Jorginho does go forward. He doesn't sit back.
That's not.
He goes forward.
I really don't know how to explain it to you. I think you don't understand what I'm trying to say. I know you thinking is right. You thinking is right. It's just you put in the player for format of a 6 in the wrong thought of yours, because every team has a 6, not deep like a sitting 6. It's not sitting 6. It's the 6 that has defensive awareness. He can predict. You know how Silva good in defending? He doesn't have to be fast anymore, because he has that defensive awareness. That's what you need out of your 6. It doesn't have to be sitting 6 like Mikel that only passes sideways. But you can have somebody that actually like Rice. Rice is not a sitting 6. Nobody said he is. Rice is
No,
good.
that's all I've heard. That's all I've heard.
What if
We need to
you
put him in
just
the back-
listen
that's all I've
whatever
heard from
people
everybody.
telling you?
Because they always turn it into fucking Jorginho
Exactly.
v Rice debates, when in reality it should be Kante and Rice debates, because they're both box to box.
No, that's not what it is. I'm talking about, you know how Kovacic can, how Kante knows how to break up the play when we don't have the ball.
Yeah, knows the position.
This is what Jorginho doesn't have. He doesn't know how to break up the ball, break up that system. He knows that they coming towards him.
I'd say he has the positioning, but in terms of the interception breakup playability, I agree. He doesn't really.
He doesn't have that. You're right, Louis.
That's what we need. We need the player that can be as good as Jorginho, but with that process. If I'm going too fast, if I'm going too forward.
So you want a hybrid of Jorginho and Kante, basically.
Basically.
Yeah,
I would love to find one.
We don't have that in the squad.
That's what Declan Rice is. Declan Rice is box to box. But
No, you're giving Declan Rice too much credit right now. No.
We went.
No, Alex, I can't agree with you on that.
Oh my God, please! I'm saying Declan Rice because he's the only one that actually left for sale. That
He's not for sale.
No,
We
I'm
could
saying
find
like,
cheap alternative across Europe that can
I agree with you. I agree with you on that. The problem with that situation is you don't know how we will kick in the Premier League from the beginning. That's what it is. That's the only thing is. And maybe some Chelsea and the hierarchy would like to reunion or something. I can tell
maybe
you.
maybe
I can tell you there's a defensive players better than Rice in specific things. I just don't
Someone
think
said
Chelsea
this is
looking at
Alex
him.
the Russian or Alex Goldberg. I can't be asked.
maybe Troublemaker is the one who's gonna be the DM.
Troublemaker.
Could be.
Yeah.
I'm not saying no. But
Well, who would you pair
got-
Alex
no.
with, Alex?
My
Who would be your
conversation,
pairing?
One sec, guys, one
wasn't
sec.
about the Rice in the
I'll
first
let
place.
you finish.
My conversation about Frenkie de Jong, that people think that Frenkie de Jong is coming for Jorginho's spot, which
He
he's
is.
not. I promise
He
you.
is. I promise you, he is.
Well, one sec. Let me go through a few.
I guess
super
we'll.
chats.
I guess
One
we'll
sec,
see.
Alex, one sec. Rohan says Kante is still a beast. Hope we don't burn him out. If we get additions like Frenkie de Jong, we wouldn't have to because we can rotate more. CNAC also says Frenkie de Jong seems to work best in a two-man pivot as a holding midfielder next to a defensive midfielder. Allows him freedom to be creative and show his quality. Tuchel fixes defensive positional awareness and less weak compared to Jorginho. Well, if we're saying he works a two-man pivot next to defensive mids, then you could potentially be looking at a De Jong and Jorginho pivot.
No
No,
chance.
because
You have
which one of
Jorginho
those
more
is
the
the
sitter, and
defensive
Frenkie de Jong can roam
midfielder?
about.
No.
They're two players who both need the ball a lot, and you're not going to have them playing together.
You got to put it with cover or something.
It would either be with Kova or Kante.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, either of them would work regardless. And if we can rotate with the three of them, it's better for Kovacic and N'Golo.
He will be playing more with Jorginho than Kova, and think
Okay,
you
well, you're
will
wrong.
see.
Why would you need two people who need the ball at their feet to do something?
Okay, what do you want him to get the ball at the head?
No, he's saying it's two players who
They're the same-
require the ball
they're the same
to
player.
do their job. Jorginho, without the ball, what's he doing? He's not running around breaking up play. He's not scoring goals.
No.
He's the guy who
Jorginho-
facilitates.
Okay.
So if they're both playing,
Jorginho without the ball, asking for the ball. He always asks for the ball. You can't say that. He just refuses to go forward with the ball and passes forward. It will be, if Jorginho comes, I promise you, he will play with more with Jorginho than you actually think, than anybody else on the pitch.
I think you're the only one who thinks that.
I don't think I'm the only one.
I do.
I think it will be what's it called? If De Jong came, it would be with Kovacic or Kante. I don't think it would be with Jorginho.
Okay, we'll see.
Right, I just
Hey.
Fabrizio as well. Good segue. Only one player will leave between Memphis Depay and Aubameyang from Barcelona this summer. Depay is negotiating a free agency with Barcelona as revealed last week. I think just you just said that a few minutes ago as well. Memphis will only accept in case of a bid from top clubs, Juve among those interested. So one or the other, but from a Chelsea perspective, which one would you guys prefer? Just if we had
Aubameyang
the
or
choice.
Depay?
Depay. I'm taking Depay.
Aubameyang. Depay has never done anything in the Premier League.
Aubameyang on the two shows.
And you want to bring in another unproven Premier League player? Yeah, that's good. Let's do that.
I mean, okay, so Koulibaly is an unproven Premier League player.
Oh, we're talking about attacking players, not defenders.
But wouldn't you want
It's a
someone who
different
has
story.
I mean,
two shows as well?
I mean, it's just like I mean, we're gonna have to sign players from somewhere, and signing attackers from the Premier League is like clearly much more expensive than signing them from elsewhere. So
Depay actually played in the Premier League.
When he was like what, 21,
how good was
20?
he? Okay, no.
He was incredibly young at that time, and now he's a lot older. I'm giving him more used to him. And also, and even screw all of that. That's not even how I judge my players. Just fundamentally, if you look at it the way it is, he looks a lot better on the ball than Aubameyang.
But do you think Aubameyang can turn it around on the Tuchel?
No,
He did
not
it
at all. Not at all. Not at
Oh
all.
my gosh.
You know what? Why don't you tell me why you want Aubameyang?
Because he can score.
Oh yeah, because that clearly works, doesn't it? Just get people who score goals and show them in the system.
Oh yeah. Well,
They have to fit.
He actually carried a team in the Premier League.
These are casual statements.
Well, let's be honest. I don't think any of us would prefer these players, but it's our only option left. So we'd rather either or. So you would want to
hold on a second. Just a question.
Also,
Where would Abuba Bloody Young play?
Striker
At Chelsea. Striker as center forward, like center forward.
Yeah.
Okay, no, thank you. He will not score there.
Thank you very much. That's one. Even when he played at Arsenal, and
Well, he's only done it under Tuchel. So
hold on. Just I'm guessing you didn't notice when he played at Arsenal, he was being played off of the left. That was where he was getting most of his success, and eventually the goals even ran out even from over there. So it's
his
like
best season under Tuchel was as a striker.
I don't even want Bundesliga attack. I don't give a fuck. When he played in the Premier League, since you don't want to talk about proven Premier League striker, he played off of the left at Arsenal.
Not all the time.
These are facts, and that's probably where I can't go through it season for season because I don't care enough. But from what
I'll find out.
Most of his goals in Premier League at Arsenal, he played off the left.
Hold on. Yeah, and eventually that.
Boy, you gotta get some Wi-Fi, man.
Breaking up.
Definitely. Aubameyang has high scores in Bundesliga because of high line.
And he was much faster.
Yeah, I'm
And
not
he was
taking away
much faster.
Bundesliga
He can
attacks.
take off like nobody. He still has a little bit of pace in him. Don't get me
Please,
wrong.
but
I
nothing
will
like
take
him with the
Aubameyang over Depay in only one situation, because I think if Aubameyang comes in, I think he will play after that because Timo Werner left. So for me, actually, I don't care. The only reason why I don't want to, what's his name? Depay will have to pay, and he will be a long-term contract. And I'm not sure I want that. If I want anything, I want something that's short. That's why I'm more leaning towards Ronaldo or Aubameyang, because those two are going to be a short contract. Nothing attached. Just that's the only thing.
I think Depay as a player, he has more characteristics that fit us though than Aubameyang.
Name one.
Yes, but that's. I understand what you're saying. I just don't think
Name
Depay
one.
is in the long
You can't
run.
say. Hold on.
Name one what?
You can't make a
Name
general
one what?
statement.
Okay, so
like
his
he has all the
ability-
characters we need.
I didn't say all that.
characteristics.
I never said
Okay,
all. I said he has more.
Name one.
He has
He
the
has
ability.
better link-up play and better
Wait,
dribbling.
let
Let me answer.
him go.
He has the ability to create something in tight spaces, which we lack. You see how much of an impact Sterling is already making. He has more of an ability to create something in tight spaces. Depay has
Memphis Depay.
and he has those characteristics to do that centrally. So that's why I think he would fit better for us than Aubameyang. He can play out wide, Aubameyang, but we don't need that as much as we need someone who can create something in tight spaces. That's what I think.
I won't disagree with that. I won't disagree with that. He will fit with Kai better than Aubameyang, and that because he's still movable. But for the specific left position, I still think there's nobody better than Aubameyang in that situation.
Mo says Aubameyang, that is a mad thumbnail. Aubameyang came in January and became their top goal scorer. I feel like that says more. That says a lot more about Barcelona's situation as well as Aubameyang. But 11 goals in 13 games is still a very good record for him. I'd take either or at Chelsea personally, but we need goals. We need better link-up play.
I still want to see videos of Memphis Depay in close spaces doing defenders, because I've never seen a video, not one clip of him doing defenders.
At Barcelona, he's done quite well with that.
And also, if you just watch
tight space, he does get out of it.
Aubameyang outscored him playing half a year.
I'm not saying that.
But we want Depay.
Worse, but I'm just saying. But he's right that the fact that Depay can get out of tight spaces and has some good skill. But I would prefer Aubameyang because I think he's a better finisher.
That's not even up for conversation. It's have to be Aubameyang.
Yeah, I agree. Deposit. He's a terrible player. He sucks.
The main problem I have with Chelsea right now is the midfield. And I know the wing backs are not fully fit at the moment, but the way they normally overlap early on last season, I mean, it's early in the season, the first game, I didn't see that they bombing forward. And the midfield is not playing those balls through. Whether Jorginho, Kante, Kovacic, everybody just keep the ball and rotate it. And we're going to have a problem. Because when somebody break, nobody's going to get the ball. We caught Leicester's Everton on a counter-attack and Jorginho wait, and turn back the ball. I'm like, the guy's moving through the space. Why don't pass the ball, give the guy? I'm like, it's the same thing over and over. He's going to complain. We're not going to win anything with Jorginho. And Kovacic, it's like 4 seasons with the same midfield. What do we expect? Nothing's going to change.
His transition of play is just way too slow. It kills any kind of momentum that we have.
Somebody said shit about Jorginho.
In a cup game, Jorginho is good, but total seasons. I saw De Bruyne make passes yesterday where he's deep in midfield and see the player breaking and he just slip. Come on. When you're deep, you see a lot of plays in front of you.
You got overrun there, man.
You're comparing a box-to-box midfielder to a DM. This is the difference.
No, the position where De Bruyne was. That's what I'm talking about. A lot of time, Jorginho has the ball. People making moves. Jorginho doesn't play that ball.
The same thing with Kante, the same thing with Kovacic, the same thing.
Yeah, the same. That's all of them. All of them.
Why you get Frenkie de Jong and stick him in the Jorginho position, and then you have it.
We do it too much. Oh, Jorginho doesn't play the.
I have a question.
No. Do you
not only Jorginho?
It's because he has the ball the most. He's the one at the end of the game who ends with 500 passes or whatever. Like
exactly.
He's the deepest midfielder.
Okay, so it's on him to be the one to pick out those passes that my man is talking about. These runs, guys.
It's on the midfielders who have the ball.
It's on midfield. He's right. It's about.
He has the ball more than any midfielder, any of them, and it's not just a one touch and a pass. Like he has the ball.
The deepest midfielder to be the one making all those assist-making passes. No,
because that's when
they're running. When they're breaking the lines, Louis. That's when they break the lines.
Can I finish talking for fuck's sake, man?
Go on,
Jesus
Josh.
Christ. That is when the attackers are making those runs that he's talking about, is when Jorginho has the ball deep and we're in transition. That's when attackers are making the runs. They're not making runs when the ball's already at midfield and the defense is already 11 in the box. Like, he needs to be able to pick out that pass as soon as he gets the ball and Sterling makes a run. You've got to play that ball. Josh. You can't just carry it to midfield, let the whole defense sit back and get set up, and then expect that attackers are going to be able to make runs in behind 6 defenders in the box. Like, it doesn't work that way. He has to be able to pick a pass out like that in transition. He doesn't do that.
Here's the thing, and I get this is a case where we're both correct on this. Jorginho needs to do it more. Kovacic needs to do it more. And N'Golo needs to do it more. My point is not that you're wrong. It's that it's the entire midfield that needs to be quicker on the ball. I completely agree on that, but it is not just Jorginho. It is Kante, it is Kovacic as well. Ruben Loftus-Cheek too, whenever he's playing. I've seen it numerous times last season. It's a midfield problem, not an isolated problem.
I have a question after Justin.
But Kovacic can carry the ball, right? He's got another thing that he does well.
Yeah,
Kante can break up play. Another thing he does well. If Jorginho's not picking up picking out these passes, what else does he do well?
It's either more just building up play or recycling possession or being press resistant. That's
being slow.
Right. I don't want to build up play. I want to go on transition.
Well, I mean,
what I'm saying is they all have other characteristics which makes them good at certain things. Conte's, in his day is an elite. He's elite at breaking up play. Kovacic on his day is elite carrying the ball. What else is Jorginho elite at? If it's not picking out a pass
against certain opposition,
they're the box-to-box midfielders, and Jorginho is not though.
But that's his design position is to
not box
run
to
the
box.
offense.
He's never been box-to-box.
No,
just as not saying he should be box to box. Just as asking what is he good at. Kante is good enough with running the ball and breaking a play. Kovacic is good at carrying the ball. What is Jorginho's specialty?
Let me try to answer. See if I can
play positioning, fucking press resistance. That's all you're really getting out of him. But it's because he's the deeper player.
Oh,
if he was a box-to-box midfielder, you're asking a lot more from him.
He's such.
How does he help our attack?
He is definitely press resistant.
He
has gone down a little.
How does he help our attack?
No.
Who's this?
He's
Jorginho.
He's our deepest midfielder, and we're talking about what he brings in the attack.
No. He's actually
how does he help the attack?
No. Just asked a good question.
The midfielders and the wing backs. He's not playing further forwards.
No. Do you? Okay, Lewis, please tell me. So that's what he's good as with the ball, right? What you just said. What's his good off the ball?
I think his positioning is good off the ball.
Can I just say, we can have this exact same conversation, just flip it for Kante, by the way. Everything he does off the ball is elite, and then everything he does on the ball is questionable in games.
Yeah. But can you play Kante in Jorginho's position?
No.
Okay. My think about what Kante position and what he went down. I agree with that. The reason why I think Kante's positioning, Kante's downgrade is less important for our team versus what Jorginho's downgrade is important for our team. Does that
Did
make
Lewis
sense?
ask me a question? I didn't get that. Somebody saying I didn't answer your question.
No,
Lewis.
but
I was trying to answer your question, but Lewis did not answer the question. Lewis was saying what he was doing with the ball, and I asked him what he does, what he's doing good without the ball, and Scott jumped in and changed
his positioning is great off the ball. Obviously, in transition, he does need to be better with his standing tackles. I completely agree on that. That's one of his weaknesses. But his positioning is very good off the ball.
So can I finish my point, please?
Go ahead.
Look. So, what's Jorginho's biggest problem?
His physicality,
athleticism,
and what?
Physicality.
Yeah.
Well,
but I feel like that goes in with athleticism.
Yeah, you're right.
What about speed? Is he good at speed?
That goes in with athleticism.
Okay, so we consider athleticism everything what he can do physically, right?
Yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
So, to actually explain you what's the defensive awareness is, what I have with Jorginho, it is exactly what Thiago Silva does with his old age and speed. What Jorginho does with his disabilities as athleticism.
Disability.
Do you see what I'm saying?
Disability.
Do you understand?
No,
Sorry,
Alex,
do you understand what I'm saying?
Alex, can you rephrase? I didn't know.
Okay.
No,
So,
go
for
for
example, Thiago Silva is not a fast player,
Yeah.
right? But his defensive awareness makes him know and prejudge and position his body to make that thing less visible.
Right.
What Jorginho does not have, it's that thing, because he still has those physical disabilities that he does not convert. For example, if Thiago Silva, he doesn't have to have a pace. He can just place his body the right way and the player will not pass him. Jorginho, even though he doesn't have a pace, he doesn't even have a mind how to place himself to actually do it.
So you're saying positional awareness.
Then we're saying your problem is the position. The problem isn't the positioning; it's the way he goes into tackles.
But that, why you go? Hold on. Why is he going into tackles?
Well, standing tackles, not slide tackles. I rarely see him slide.
Okay, whatever, any kind of tackles. Why does he has to go to the tackle?
Because he's out of position.
Because that's how you break up play.
No, because he's already in the wrong position.
So
or he's giving the ball away too high off the pitch.
I understand the argument for slide tackles, not for standing tackles.
Let me say, can I say this really quick? I do think it's a bit unfair because Jorginho playing in the midfield has a little bit more ground to cover.
Exactly. No, that is
way
true.
more ground. I was about to get into that as well. Silva's only defending the defensive third.
You could argue that extra ground is covered by Angola, who does double the work off the ball because of Jorginho.
He has. This is actually funny. He has more ground to cover, but he actually doesn't cover.
Right.
That's the funny part. Do you see
I
what
think
I'm
he does cover. He just gets skipped past too easily, and that's what his problem is.
Well, that's a huge problem.
No, I agree, but I'm saying that is the
Thank you,
problem.
Jesse.
I'm not saying that he doesn't do that or that it doesn't happen, but that's an area that he has to improve on.
He can't because he doesn't have.
But that's only been the last few months as well.
He can't approve.
He's 30 years old.
That's his athleticism to do
problem.
that.
He's 30 years old. Oh, you gotta learn that now.
No, I'm not saying learn that. He's been better at it. It's just he's dropped off the last few months.
Do you understand?
We're not saying he's never been
That's
able
why
to.
we're getting a
He was
replacement.
excellent in 2021.
That's the problem. That's the big problem. Why we're not getting the replacement, and that's the huge problem. I actually go after Tuchel because if he has that much money to spend, why not looking for it?
We are
because he doesn't want
Young
someone.
and now Savić is back.
Because he doesn't want one, evidently. He doesn't see it as a massive need. He sees
And
other
that's
issues
his
and
gonna be
unfortunately-
downfall. Because
considering the game we literally just played against Everton was everything to do with attack was our issue. Like, I'm not surprised we need better attackers. And again, you look at the problem we have with the wing backs. Apart from the penalty Chilwell got, the wing backs weren't great until Correa came on.
Everton game is not to be judged. First of all, I still think that game is a preseason. That's number one.
Right. It's not even our full team.
It's not. Yeah. Number 2, that place did not have a good forward positioning, and they still got the ball. Did you see how that kid
Can I just point something out, by the way, as well? Can I just point something out with the midfield as well? Is we've actually added 2 midfielders in this window, regardless of their age or whether you think they're good enough or whatever. So many people were asking for Gallagher to come into this team, and he's brought him into this team.
Yes.
So he's added a midfielder in that people wanted to add. It's not his fault that Gallagher's not impressed so far and has been poor. And then he's also brought Carney. He brought Carnes in, who again was part of that under 19s, was it, or under 20s winning team for England, and again was one of the best young midfielders in the league last season. So he's made improvements in those areas. Fair enough, it's not your De Jongs and whatnot, but he's made improvements.
Scott, I think he made improvements in players like for Kovacic, because his last interview he said, I have 2 deep midfielders, two deep midfielders that I actually over 30, and there is that. That's his little saying, over 30, and there is that. Well, so I think for the injuries he did that, but the main thing is Ampadu, I don't understand why he let them go, because I'm getting
because he's not good in the midfield. He's better.
Wait,
no, he's not. He's actually better midfielder.
He's not gone yet. There's
he will be.
We're going to be selling him, but he's not gone yet.
Hey, Jester, going by what you said about Ampadu is not good in the midfield. Remember, we play with two 6s. So that simply means Mason Mount is not good in a 6. Gallagher is not good in a 6. So we should sign other midfielders that is good in a 6. Because going forward, I don't see Gallagher playing in a 6.
People completely misread this. It's not about being good as a 6. It's about having the attributes to play in the formation or the system we want to play. The reason why Mount and Gallagher don't work in like the quote unquote 6s that we have is because they're horrible at ball retention. That's why they don't work, is they're not good enough when pressed on the ball to keep it in tight situations. That's why the likes of Kovacic work. That's why Jorginho more often than not works. That's why for all, like, Kante can do it, but it's not consistent. Like, that's why you go and get a player like a De Jong, because he's press resistant to hell and he's got good enough attributes to play close to our box and close to the opponent's box. That's why you go and sign a player like
so De Jong. You were talking a player 22, 23, then that means in training then we're not working on that then. Because I remember when Sarri comes, that's what he works on first. Players to get better technically in terms of tight spaces and how to be press resistant. So some things we're missing something then.
He's taught that to Mount for 2.5 years now, and I've seen no improvement on him being able to do that. He still does the same trick in terms of the spin he does on the half turn.
Thank you very much.
It's the only trick he has in his book. He's still not good enough in ball retention. Like, you saw it against Everton, just wild, like, literal crosses into the box into no man's land. Just stupid passes here and there. It was the same with Kante as well. I get Jorginho's fault, but people need to realise he is important in this team because he's the only 6 that we have, apart from Kovacic, who people complain about for other reasons, who can keep hold of the ball and has good ball retention. No one else we have in the midfield can do that. No one else we have in the midfield.
Some players have good characteristics you can see that you can build on. Some just don't have it at all. Like Gallagher, he doesn't have that.
I was going to say, Gallagher has certain attributes. I've said this, sorry to interrupt. For Liverpool, he'd be perfect because he has the energy that you'd want. He has that blood and thunder style. For a Pep or Tuchel system, he's shit because his ball retention isn't good enough. He's not a bad player as such. He just doesn't fit the way we want to play because his ball retention is arse. But everything else he does, like in terms of off the ball, is good. And like the blood and thunder stuff.
Even for Liverpool, maybe he can fit more, but you're still never going to see him in a pivot. That's the problem. Even here, I think he can work. You just keep him away from the pivot. You're not getting the best out of him.
That's the only way he's going to get on the field is in the pivot.
Well, we may not.
Well, then he needs to go somewhere because I don't think.
What y'all are saying is that we have a bunch of players that the coach is not playing to their strengths. So,
100%.
If we have over 60% player not playing to their strength, and I don't understand, something's systematically wrong right there. So it's either we sell those players or they have to find a way to fit into the system.
The top level coaches don't alter their system to fit average players into their system. They just replace them. They just build a system, train. They improve the players they can improve that are going to improve their system, like Pep did with certain players, and they get rid of the players that aren't good enough, like your Kollarovs, like your Joe Harts, like your Bravos, etc. You get rid of the players that aren't good enough to fit the system. Like with Frenkie de Jong in, people need to understand if Frenkie de Jong comes in, Gallagher is probably going to be sold or loaned out.
Yeah, it could be used for Zaha.
I'm glad. I'm down for it. But this is the thing. Is like
for it, bro.
Well, that'd be
Chelsea
great.
and Palace alliance. Let's go up the Chelsea. Or send them Cho the other way or something. Nah, we're looking for a loan club for him. Fuck it.
Why would you do that to Palace, though? Why would you take their best player and give him Callum?
We're trying to build a strong relationship.
Hudson Doy's a baller. Cho way or no way. Run it. Let's go. Paul Jr. says, Lewis, who you think Chelsea should sign between A and B? Panel going on each other like we're in the boardroom deciding an actual transfer. That's why I love these streams. Endless discussion. Rohan also says, for the system we play, do we need a prolific striker? We just need someone with good feet, hold up and link up play and chip in 10 goals. A Firmino/Giroud hybrid. I would agree, but like we have Havertz and we're trying to use him like that and it's not working and we're now screaming for someone prolific. So I would actually rather have a prolific striker and try and get.
He wasn't even really pressing much on Saturday either, which was a little
pressing.
bit.
His fucking movement was all over the place. He weren't even going to the right place.
Havertz wasn't even there.
It was useless.
I can't tell you one thing Havertz did. I cannot tell you one thing. He was that useless. I cannot tell you.
Well, I can tell you that he wasn't the first attacker taken off the field.
Doesn't mean
he was a second.
Garbage versus trash. Both fucking.
I was going to say, it was. To be fair, he wasn't the worst attacker, but he was very, very close behind.
That's because Mount.
I'm not going to debate that.
Mount actually was. Don't.
Both were terrible. Let's be.
I was going to say the thing is, on the super chat though. On the super chat, I would agree if we had another Sterling on the right hand side.
Wally, hold that, bro. Your boy's crap. Sorry.
If we had another Sterling type for the right hand side, who would be pushed high up the field and could like contribute, with 10, 15 goals, I'd agree. But the problem is we don't. So until we get that, we need someone who's going to score goals, but then has the other attributes to work in the system, which is annoying.
When Broja and Pulisic came on, they both looked more threatening in like the 15 minutes they were on than Havertz and Mount did.
I said this. Broja, I don't like Mount's going to start against Tottenham. Broja needs to start. Broja needs to start against Tottenham. I'm sorry, I cannot see
Havertz cannot be starting.
Yeah, surely he'd start.
They both will start though. It will be the same front three.
How can you say Havertz should not start?
Oh no, I don't. No. Again, listen to what I said.
Because Mount will, I think Havertz will draw.
I do not want Mount to start. I said this on a stream the other day. I want Ziyech and Broja coming. If I had free reign, I'd choose those. I'm not an idiot. I know that Mount is going to start.
Himself over behind.
I'm talking to you, Alex.
I get that. I mean,
Mount is going to start. I'm aware of that and understand.
Scott, you know what's funny? Funny? Everybody's saying that the first game was like a preseason. Everybody's still trying to get his feet, and then people keep coming back and saying like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna start Broja in the starting lineup." That's just funny. Yeah,
it will be the same front three.
I think the front three should be Sterling, Broja, and Pulisic, because you didn't have two.
Oh, that is beautiful.
You have two outside or inside forward, whatever the hell you want to call them. Whatever Tuchel calls them, that can actually beat a man, and you have a actual a number 9 striker, not a center forward that wants to get into the box and make the runs. So, I think that going forward would be our better lineup for attack. Until Zaha comes in, and then you would have Broja, Zaha, and Sterling.
And then Aubameyang comes in, and then we have Sterling, Zaha, and Aubameyang.
There you go.
Let's go.
I just need someone who can create in that final third, apart from Sterling. I just need someone in that final third who can create something.
Sterling was very good, man. I was very impressed.
Oh, he was brilliant. But again, it shows you what you can do.
Man.
It shows you what you can do when you actually add quality attackers into this team.
You could see the quality compared to everything else around him, and if anything, everyone else made him look even better.
Yeah, he should have scored.
He was made to look better by everyone else, and everyone else was made to look worse by him.
This is the standard. This is what Man City
made the gap between the two just huge. Like him and everyone else in attack. The gap between
I saw him trying to start 1-2s with the likes of fucking Mount and Havertz. I was like, sorry, bro. Sorry, but guys.
Yeah, we don't do that here. Bro. We don't do that here.
You pass the ball, you ain't getting that ball back. Sorry, man.
No, it's getting to the box. I'm going to whip this in as fast as I can.
We'll pass it to the sides. We'll pass it back to Jorginho. We'll pass it to the left. We'll try a low block. He'll get blocked. We'll intercept that. And we'll go back round again until someone hits a low shot straight at the goalkeeper. Or we get a pen. Same old shit. But it is what it is. What else?
Did anyone think that was a pen on Sterling? The first one, the tackle
Yes,
by Decore?
he got tackled in
It
the
was
eye.
definitely a penalty.
I didn't see it from
he
my
had
angle.
he had a full bear hug on him.
Yeah, yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know about that one. I thought you meant the Mina one. That Mina one was definitely a penalty.
Yeah, that's
I mean, it was sexual.
Decore
That's
is the one who.
same. Yeah.
Decore
was
is the
Decore
one who did the
sequence.
tackle and came
Oh,
in
okay. I
underneath.
thought Mina was the one that pushed him. Oh, yeah, that was a penalty. Definitely.
No. It was Decore. It was
Yeah.
it was the sequence between Decore and Milamino.
Yeah.
What's his name? Milamino?
I thought for sure it was a pen though.
Yeah.
He had a.
Oh,
By the way, what's his name?
so was
Brighton.
that
United penalty. That was
that
United
midget that
Wow,
squared
that
off somebody in the
penalty.
back, and that wasn't a penalty either. I guess
It
it
was
depends on what
ridiculous.
team you play for.
I'm surprised Liverpool got that penalty against Fulham. Got him. I was surprised.
That's a pin.
I didn't.
Yeah, I
see
know it was a
that.
pen, but I
didn't
pen,
see
but
it.
not Liverpool. Fucking,
I don't
that
think
was over
Mitrovic
10.
should be falling over like that from that contact. But
Why not? If you're going to get a penalty,
Right, and he
I
did
mean,
go
here's
that's
my-
the
here's
new
my-
thing, man.
He did
Here's
go
my
knee to
thing,
knee
here's my
with him.
thing. And it's something that Terry said as well. If you want to get rid of diving out of the game, you have to get rid of all the diving. So that
Is
would
that a
include
dive?
that as well. Well, yes, he did. He felt the contact and then he went down.
He
but-
went knee to knee with him. That's not a dive.
Wait, was
If
there any?
someone bangs their knee,
Yeah,
if
it
someone
was.
bangs their knee into your knee, you're gonna go down.
No. Hold on.
Exactly.
You're missing the point. The contact would be what's it called? Would equivalent to a foul. But for Mitrovic, I think he could have stayed on his feet. That's what I'm
Oh,
saying.
so we decided like if Mitrovic is a big player that he's not allowed to.
No.
You have to have a more physical challenge to
No,
take him
hold
down.
on.
Yeah, right. I hate that.
Like
rule.
that. Yeah, like that.
I see what
Yeah, I
you're saying.
don't agree.
Okay.
I don't agree with
Yeah.
that.
So
Well,
that's
if you want to see a dive, go look at what Xhaka did to get the yellow card.
Yeah.
That's a dive.
Well, okay. Just because you get a penalty doesn't mean that you don't dive to get it.
No. A dive is where there's no contact and you throw yourself on the ground.
No.
That's a
can
dive.
You can pull out the theatrics for minimal contact and still get a penalty. It's still diving. Jack Grealish has made the career out of it. Like, I mean, it is what it is.
Oh, Mitrovic made a career out of it. You know
No, I
that?
said
Mitrovic is a very good player, by the way.
Grealish made the career.
Yeah,
out of
my
it.
performance. Finally, my performance. is fine.
Salah made a career out of it. Sterling
Yeah,
made
yeah.
a career in
Sterling
City out of
too.
it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Oh shit! Anthony Taylor's the ref. VAR Mike Dean for Tottenham. Lovely.
Mike Dean's doing VAR for okay. He might draw.
And
That's
Anthony
why.
Taylor as the ref.
Didn't Mike Dean retire?
As a ref, yeah, I think he's
Yeah.
guessing on a side mission doing some VAR shit.
I don't want to see Ivan Toney near any Chelsea team. Another dead Lukaku thing.
Huh?
No moment whatsoever.
Definitely
That's
not
disrespectful,
Lukaku.
Tony.
That is
What?
unbelievable.
There is.
No.
There is.
I
no.
disagree with you, Alex.
No
There
way.
is-
Ivan Toney.
He said Ivan Toney's the same as Lukaku.
They are completely
Where do you get that from, Alex?
It's the same style. Same style as
No.
a forward. I don't want
No,
No.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm all.
no way.
Y'all have a beautiful day.
No.
Just
Alright,
said
please,
Jester's
Chester.
off now. Big up yourself, Jesters. Take
L
it.
Alex.
Justin.
L Alex
Yeah,
in the
just-
chat. L Alex.
There you go, buddy.
Come on, Alex.
I'll
Come
be
on,
right.
Alex.
Ivan Toney. I would. You know what? The fucking Brentford's not even that far from me. I'll pick him up myself.
I was gonna say his link up play is miles better.
I would put Ivan Toney in my Chelsea team right now.
Someone else I'd
100%,
take.
right.
Again, someone else that I'd take that was mentioned earlier. The only issue I have with him is he kind of works better in a 2, but I'd still take him because his link up play and everything's good. Is Jonathan David because he actually wants to leave, and you could get
That
a decent.
Canadian guy.
He's strong, he's fast, he's quick, he's good on the ball.
And
I mean-
I've said it before, but the transition from the League into the Premier League is in terms of like leagues is the best. In terms of which is the easiest league to transition from that to the Premier League is Ligue 1.
I mean, that's a general statement, and when I've watched him,
Chavis,
I've watched him play, and I
his hair, bitch.
I think he has qualities, but I don't think they would cross over to our team that well.
Yeah, I like Jonathan
Why
David.
nobody's going for Ivan Toney? Like, not even a slight rumor.
There are rumors.
I mean,
United was linked with him.
not Jesus.
United was linked with him. But
What's his
obviously-
contract?
But they're still waiting on what's going to happen with Ronaldo.
He's got
Yeah,
3 years left
I
on
was
his
right.
contract. They're probably waiting for a year to go down.
Poor guy hates Brentford as well. This guy talks shit about them every season. There's something
Yeah,
there.
nah. If he comes to Chelsea and does that, yeah.
Nah, he won't. Yeah, I don't think he'll come to us and talk shit.
No, I'll be honest. I don't think he has any particular disdain for Brentford. I just think that's just how he is. Because if he comes, he's going to get media trained hard.
Yeah, because he just says whatever, and does whatever.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
I do think he has an eye on going to Liverpool, though.
They just signed Darwin Nunez.
Unless he's going to be
I
a
think
bench
he's
player.
going to be blind, but Liverpool will choose him.
Firmino replacement if they want to get rid of Firmino.
Well, they have Jota still.
Yeah, that is true.
I mean, yeah, I'm good with. I mean, he's saying this season, so ain't going anywhere.
I like Jonathan David. I just don't know how creative. He's more of just like a straight goal scorer. I don't think he had a single assist last season. Which
I think he is kind of creative. Like his Inca play is good. It's just most of like his best periods, whether it's for the Canadian men's national team or for Lille, was when he was in a 2. Like whether it's next to Yilmaz for Lille or Larin for the Canadian men's national team.
Mm-hmm.
But I think he could work. And the thing is as well is, and this is what we need to. I said this before. Go for players that actually want to move here and like want to leave their clubs they're at. Instead of going for people who just
how much you think he'll cost?
I don't know. I think he was linked. Was it last year? The reports were 50 or 60. I could be wrong though. Please, someone in the comments correct me if I'm wrong. But I want to say it was 50 or 60 last year. Obviously, I don't know how much they'd be asking for this year.
60 or 70 on potential.
He's definitely gonna take the piss.
That's why I'm saying that it's Lukaku smell potential.
Does Brentford play that 3-4-3 or 3-5-2?
They played a 3-5-2 last season.
Yeah.
Okay.
Damn, Xavi, haven't talked to you in a long time. How have you been?
Good, and you?
Good. Good.
There we go. What other news topics were out there? We spoke about Hudson-Odoi. Just wherever wants him, just take him. De Jong, Zaha. I think we've spoken about. No, anyone against bringing Wilfried Zaha to the bridge?
Where's the yellow bus merchant?
Kind of depends.
Yellow
on
bus
the,
merchant in Kai.
I will say it depends on the
I
fee.
don't want him. I don't want him either.
The fee might be up to 50 million in my opinion.
Duoscope is nervous about those yellow cards. Remember?
Under 50 mil for 1 year. For 1 year.
Crystal
Well, let's say
Palace's
it's 30
valuation of the
million.
player, you have to take that into account.
It's
And also,
Yeah,
I don't think it will be just 1 year. But if I'd just say under 50, I'd say if we're
No,
paying
it's
any
got
more
1
than
year left on his deal, isn't it?
It would probably be in the 30 range for
It'll be
the guys
30.
1 year.
I'd say about
30 to
35,
35.
any more than that, and then
Hopefully, we can use maybe some Connor deal, get it cheaper.
I think any striker, any attacker we go for is going to be in the 30 to 40 range. I don't think they'll spend more than that.
I think like
Until we get the right to football.
we need a right winger. Like we need someone who could be his man or create for us. Like we can't continue with the right wing player.
Usman Dembele, man, we missed out. I mean, we didn't miss out.
Don't
We
remind
lost,
me.
but-
Don't remind me. I'll cry. Don't remind me.
Usman Dembele, man. Oh, he would have solved all this.
But we didn't even go after him. We didn't even offer him.
Yeah, I know. But if we did,
he was the player. But I guess we're never really ever gonna get him, to be honest.
nah, that's it.
Yeah.
Neither are Barca at this point.
Well, Barcelona, they're in some shit, man.
Man, those things coming out of Barcelona camp. I don't know.
They'll get them
thing
registered.
is
They'll get them
so
registered.
sketchy. It's not
What
even
the
funny.
Young stuff they're trying to say is now a criminal thing or something.
Yeah,
that's
like
crazy.
Anything to try and get him out. I bet it's not even like that, and they're just waffling.
Like, are you away on holiday? Like, what?
No, it's Barcelona. Actually, yes and no. When it's Barcelona, they fall asleep.
And it's like they're trying to ship off players.
Isn't
like
it the same Barcelona that hired private company, social media company, to slander their own players so they will sell them? So they will. You see what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, no. The only way you're gonna get them out is if you actually send somebody to their houses. If not, they're staying.
that will be a Russian thing to do, man.
Barcelona,
Or a South London thing to do.
Did you see, Lewis? Barcelona disrespected Cristiano already. They had to remind the fans that he was a player of the club.
Oh, yeah, the neck injury, man.
No. Did you see the tweet?
No.
Did you see the tweet? Did you see the tweet? It said the.
Yeah, no,
player
they
of
violated
the
him with
club.
that tweet. They said cervical
was-
injury. Like, that was bullshit.
He had
They did
shit.
that on purpose.
The guy had shit.
No, man, just like a little neck sprain. He probably went for a header, went in a bit too hard.
Probably
Got a
gave
bit
it
of
too much.
concussion. It's just okay.
You know you can
What?
stop repping him now. He doesn't play for us.
I'm just saying it could go either way. Like, we gotta respect our legends. It is what it is.
Oh, Lord,
It's probably giving head.
What was that?
I personally, I wouldn't have it. That's what I'm saying.
I didn't hear what he said. Matt, could you
I said,
repeat
I
yourself?
I think he was giving head. That's why his neck was hurting.
Oh, I thought you said something about me. Oh, I don't care.
Oh,
Nah.
I'll tell you.
Any links to
I would fuck with that.
Tyrannosaurus living?
To Kepa? No, no one wants it.
Guys,
still.
he just rang me. He just rang me
we
before.
might-
He is
We might have fumbled about this one.
Yes, Kai.
Why do you have to come when Matt is dead?
Fucking Kai, bro. Can't get out, man. Get out. Go to sleep.
Bro, shouldn't you be
the
fucking
one to
asleep?
go to sleep,
or at
man.
work or at school or
Ain't
doing
it like
something
2 a.m.
productive?
over there?
Yeah,
It's
didn't
1
your
a.m.,
mama
it's 1
says
a.m.
it's a school night?
Yeah, it's school and I got. I should be off.
Yeah, at least get off the basement though.
But
We don't have basements in Australia, man. We don't have
there is
basements.
actually like Barcelona actually want to start a lawsuit over Dion's wages because they're saying the old regime is the one who gave him the contract.
They want to sue over a contract that they gave them as a club.
Yeah, like no court. Maybe in Spain because everybody there has a siesta all the time. But no court would like give Barcelona the win for that one, man. There's no way they're gonna win, man.
They literally got to try everything to try and get his wages down.
But that's so fucking slimy, man.
It's
God.
just
Oh, it
desperate,
is. But,
and then they're
I
just
can't lie. Like, this is the position they're in, though, because of the petitions by the previous regime that they had there. This is their suffering.
They're not really
No,
fixing it.
hold on a second, Kai. You think that the Barcelona Catalonian team, if we're gonna go to court and Catalonian judge?
Yeah, bro,
will
I
not
know
do
that.
something-
I know. That's why I said. That's why I wrote it on Twitter. You know, like a Catalonian team. doing
I
the
wouldn't be
Catalonian
surprised
thing,
if Catalonian judge will send Young to prison.
It's sad, man. It's because the
They
kid
can
is a
fabricate
kid.
evidence.
Like 25, 24,
This is disgusting behavior, man.
17 million. But if the rumors are true from what David Ornstein said, that we are willing to pay the deferred wages, then he might come, man. If I was him, honestly, like even if it wasn't for Chelsea, any other team, I would get the fuck out of that club, man.
Yeah, I'll be honest. What is he actually waiting for besides sticking it to Barcelona? If somebody's gonna pay him the money that he's losing,
Well, no, but then they need to pay it, don't they? Because at the minute he's just chilling there with no 17 mil. Like,
yeah, I
he
know,
wants
but
his
like, what's
money.
it called?
And I'll be real, like maybe at the end of this, like Barca, here's his dream move. Maybe he just wants to stay. He doesn't want to be forced out.
Yeah, but imagine
There's
but
no
the
way
situation
after
he is
all
in
this
right
disrespect.
now.
Yeah,
Oh no,
exactly.
I know. No, I know, but like, bro,
Scott,
you
would you stay if you were in his position?
No, that you can't.
it depends on the situation again. As I said, a lot of this comes down to that 17 mil. Until he gets paid that, he's not going anywhere.
Right.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
still,
no,
like,
but no.
I don't know
But
how do you do things, but for me, if somebody disrespect me, I'm gonna fuck that place, bro. And he
Yeah,
can
no,
still,
no,
he can still handle the lawsuit later, you know.
Kai, again, I understand that, but again, if I'm
Somebody
in that
owes you 17
situation,
mil,
I'm
it's
chilling there
different.
because I want my 17 fucking mil I deserve.
But that's 17 mil. He
I'll
doesn't
freeze
have
that
to
club.
be. But boys,
Hold
I'll
on,
freeze
Chelsea
that
and United
club
are both
till-
willing to
till
he
the day I
doesn't have
die.
to
I
be
want
there though. He
17
doesn't have
mil.
to be. He doesn't have to be at Barcelona to get that money. What he could do
No,
is
he
he could
does
sue them.
as of this moment in time. He does because no
No, he
team has
doesn't.
said
He can just sue them. You know, like the way the court and laws that didn't
Then-
work just
then
around
he
football.
needs
There's
then he
other
needs
things,
to
man.
sue them because until he does, like he's not getting that money.
Yeah, but staying there. But that's my point. I'm not disagreeing with you, Scott. I'm just saying like him staying there doesn't really change anything, you know.
I actually think if he does leave, he's not going to get that money because
It's like
that's
that's
the
where
no,
the because they're
all
actually
of it.
paying.
Well,
Until-
Chelsea
until-
said they're willing to pay the deferred wage.
Yeah, that's why I said.
That's what I'm saying. That's
No,
what
but
I'm saying.
he gets a
So as I
bonus
said,
as well, though. He gets a
you're
bonus.
either waiting for Barca to pay you that money, or you're waiting for another club to pay you that money. Either way, you're waiting for that money.
Bro,
Like,
he can
regardless
get,
Barca
he can keep
asked him this
waiting,
morning
man.
if he wanted his deferred wages or a deferred prison sentence, and I think he probably will hopefully
Bro,
opt
how-
for
And
the
to be
wages.
fair, it's
But
like
there
it's
is no
like
court
Cal
to
just said
give
in the
him that
comments.
though. Like,
It's
based on what is he gonna go to jail? He signed the
Yeah,
contract.
I'm
with
just
them.
talking shit.
Nah,
He's,
you-
he's
I don't
not
think
in the
he-
wrong. He's not in the wrong.
Just because
Jail.
they changed the regime doesn't mean like it's a different club, you know.
Yeah, he's done nothing wrong.
Also, as well,
Oh,
in terms of
boy.
the suing thing as well, as Dinishan said, if you sue while staying there, like that's career suicide until you leave. Like they're not playing another game for that club until you leave.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why
Like,
he should leave. He should leave. He should.
You know,
But he is wanting to.
So he can't sue. He can't get that money via suing. So he has to wait again until either Barca pay him or until we pay him. One of those two has to happen for him to leave that club.
But that's what I'm saying. We're willing to do that, and I think United are willing to do that as well. But there is
United.
If
United,
he stays,
United were, but then they wanted to lower the
Scott, let me give you that. Let me give this scenario. Yeah, he stays there. They're not going to be able to register all the signings they have. Yes, he's going to be making a salary, but how do you think he's going to be treated there?
He's getting.
Like he is now.
I understand that, bro. But again, we're talking about 17 million euros.
But we are willing to pay him that, though, Scott. That's what the thing.
No. Again, Kai, you're not listening. We haven't paid him yet. So my point is, until we put that bid in, this is a waste of time because all he can do until we actually physically put that bid in is ask Barca, can I have my money?
But the only reason we haven't paid it yet is because he didn't give us the yes. Chelsea are already prepared. Even David Ornstein and Fabrizio said the same thing. We're prepared to pay him, but we're prepared to sign him. We just need the go, from him. So we know, like, okay, this guy's interested. Which makes sense, like we've seen what happened with Rafinha, with Koundé. Wasted time for nothing, man.
I think that's the only thing holding up the deal right now is the green light from De Jong to
that's
move.
what I'm saying.
It's nearly done as well, but I think Barcelona also owe him an extra. I think it's some bonus fee next season.
Bro, that
as well.
club
That's what he wants to say.
When I saw that report, I knew he's a vile human being.
Yeah, 20 mil. Yeah, that's it. Loyalty bonus. It's because of that old owner, Bartomeu or something. He fucked them over. He fucked them over. So it's a lot of money they got to pay.
Big up
That's what I say.
But that's not his fault, though.
Yeah, actually heard he did it intentionally.
It's not Jong's fault. It's Bartomeu.
I heard the two, Mayo. Actually, I heard the two.
Yeah, he knew he was leaving and he was going to be prosecuted or something, and so he just
that whole thing.
Hey guys, better run, guys. Take care.
Even though
Yeah.
was hurt and he knew it was going to be crap after, he gave him an extension with more money.
I actually think too that he did. I heard the two that he did it on purpose. And what's the name? It's the whole thing was started because of fallout with him and Messi. That's why he was wrong, because he was about to lose his job because of Messi in a couple of times before.
Big Ron, which Q are you talking about, bro? You going for Anatovic, bro? You're not going for Dion, bro. That's who you're going for after that fight and defeat, man.
Arnautovic and Rabiot.
Man is talking about cues. There's no cues for you, bro. You're gonna be eating from the fucking homeless shelter, bro. No cues.
No, Big Ron. No, there's not. That's why La Liga, that's the difference between La Liga and the Premier League. There's a certain time when Premier League, which is actually what FA did it really well. When the money started to become really, really giant for the football, for the broadcast, when the money became more than sponsors, what happened was FA actually spread it between every club in the Premier League. What La Liga did, it's only go by positions and set the money to the specific who brings the TV, which is actually 2 or 3 clubs. That's the problem. So the money wise for TV rights, even like Brighton gets substantial amount of money every season now because of the TV ratings.
Wait,
so there's not, you know what I'm saying? Like there's no such a thing for them. They don't have to sell the players.
What's my name, Matt Devine?
When is La Liga first game? Is it this weekend? This weekend, right?
Weekend.
Yeah, this weekend.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting because
it's pretty interesting because they have to register players and they can not register 5 players.
Yep.
Yeah, they can't. So they'll miss out on game week 1.
I think they're gonna push this. They're gonna start pushing De Jong out.
100%.
They've been already trying to push.
They've been doing it for weeks.
No, but to the media, not to the media, not to the media. The media is saying we love this guy. I want him to stay.
Another one, sketch a thing last week. Yeah. They have a sponsor company, and they made a sponsor company.
Yeah, I saw that.
Which is did it to raise the money that they did 150 mil.
And
La Liga looked at it and was like, no, you can't do that. And they actually told them, you still gotta do. And they put the what's the name?
They got to pay 40 million in tax on it.
Fucking hell.
No,
Swear, man.
bro, that's
This is smell Russian
slime.
90s, man.
Bro,
This is how
he's a
business used
slime
to be
ball,
done.
man. That guy is so. He even looks like when you look at him, you're like, this guy is dirty, man. He has dirty money, bro. He gets paid in brown envelopes just from looking at him.
Johnny Pro.
Don't say brown envelopes.
All clubs do some kind of shady business.
Nah.
Yeah. All clubs do.
Let's
All
not
clubs
let's not
like
act
this,
like
man.
let's
Not
not
like
let
this.
act like we are.
Yeah,
saying
but nobody does it like Barcelona, man.
Yeah, but
Barcelona is
bro,
another
no club in world football would do this. Would fucking sign a
No one
player, tell him
receives
we're not
the
gonna pay you,
consequences, like,
and
what's
just sign other players, bro. That's the most Catalonian thing ever, bro.
I mean,
Actually, you know
no,
what I've
there's a
heard
couple
about
of-
the. Go ahead.
Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah,
There's
okay.
players. Go ahead.
All right, let me go ahead. Well, I've actually heard that Barcelona with the deferred wages, what they're doing is they've deferred them to a later period whenever they're struggling a year or 2 years ago. But they're actually paying them. They're paying them those deferred wages. They just have a lot that they still have to pay. So it's not like they're just holding the money and not paying them. They're still paying them. It's
Take
gonna
care,
take-
Josh.
Yeah, big up, guys.
Take
Yeah,
it,
Joshy.
Take it, bro.
Actually,
go ahead.
it's not true either, Moya.
Yeah, they're
Oh,
signing
they
nobody.
paying him some, but they
Uh-huh.
asked to. They actually took two times. They cut the salary down, weekly salary.
Oh, okay. So they're lowering this weekly salary as well.
Every time they pay, they ask to lower.
Bro, imagine if you work in a company, yeah, and they're hiring new employees, and you're still waiting to get paid, bro. How would you feel, man? How would you feel, bro? Like
I
you
would-
tell me,
Kai,
you
I
tell
would
me
wanna
there's more
live, Kai.
dirty,
I would
more
want to
dirtier
live,
club.
Kai.
Is there anything more dirty than this, man?
It's
That is like
fucking
the
crazy,
lowest
man.
of the low, man. That's and I'm surprised if David Ornstein didn't come out with it, nobody would have known it. And I'm still waiting to see what's the La Liga newspaper and the Spanish newspaper are gonna comment on it.
Nah, they'll say jack shit.
No, they have to, man. They have to because UEFA will start.
Nah,
fucking
they'll try
around.
propagate it in a different view or some
But
shit.
that is
you
so
know?
vile, man. Oh my days, bro.
It's
Well, the
disgusting how they
Madrid-
treat their fucking players, man.
Sorry, I'm sorry. Did that stand out? And Kai ask if you work for the company and met the one that says I will quit the job, the guy that never had a job in his life.
Never had a job, never had a job.
Hey,
Oh,
hey, man. Matt is a
Alex, get the
respectful
fuck-
representative
Alex,
of Grill
Alex,
and
get your fat ass off the fucking
I'm
computer.
sorry, but they're
So
just
much
hilarious.
Alex, why are you here? Go spend time with the kids or something. Like, fucking go do something.
Matt,
It's
have
a
you ever had a job?
weekday.
Have you had a job?
Yes, I have a job. I get paid. I get paid like the top 10% at my age.
What do you mean at my age, bro? It's kind
At my
of
age.
Like,
Kai,
It's a bit,
Kai,
you know-
Kai, when you were 18, Kai, you can only bench like 20 kilos now, and now you only bench 25.
You know,
Yeah,
it's
I've-
funny. It's,
I've been
it's like
WA.
it's like people with disabilities be like, I get paid like the most out of all the wheelchair kids that I know. You know? Like, what does that even mean, bro?
Oh, you
My
bench 135.
disability is
Kai,
bigger than
Kai,
your
you bench
disability.
135.
That's
You
what
have
I
no say,
said.
Kai. Kai, you bench 135. You have no say.
Fucking
No, that's
hell.
not, you know that's not true, bro. Stop.
I've just
Seriously.
It's not true. It is shit.
No,
You bench
it's not true.
135.
Jorginho is the
Seriously?
best defensive
I know you happy
midfielder
with the
despite
Werner.
his disability, probably within that category.
Alex, serious question. Why aren't you like working? Like, why aren't you actually working? Like, don't you have a
Because he
job?
works out.
What? Who is he talking to?
You too.
I'm talking to you.
Oh,
That's when you
you
why you're
babe.
not
See-
working.
Open the work.
Oh,
I
you
said
see,
I'm
Matt,
also why you're not working.
Who's never worked before?
here's the thing, Matt. You see, I own my house. I'm not living in my mom's basement.
Right. What is this guy expect? He expects you to
So
own my
how,
house.
how do you think me not working can afford the house?
You know why, Alex? Because you're a sick guy.
Alex,
you're
you
an
don't know
awesome
what
guy.
third shift is. You don't know all of that stuff. You don't know overnight jobs and
Oh, Chavi,
You don't know- you don't know
you're
that.
lost.
Alex
You're
makes a
lost,
lot of
Jerry.
money off his Jorginho agenda.
Yeah, man. Shut the fuck
Exactly.
up. Bro. Half your wages are meal vouchers and half of them is cash, bro. Shut up, man.
We get paid actual money in Australia, unlike you guys. You know, in
Extra
the
money for what?
US.
For doing what? Hunting kangaroos, bro? What?
Oh, you,
We get actual money. You know, you guys get for like $2 an hour, just like and get
He's
tips.
like, what's your
We get
job?
paid
Oh,
extra
I
money.
hug koalas for a living.
no, his real
Fucking
job
love to
go
do
at
as a job.
nights. Go at nights to the bus stations and harass girls, man. That's his.
Next week,
That's
round
mad.
2 next week. Round 2 next week.
I think you can smell what I just ate all the way from Australia with that big nose. Aren't you?
Yeah, I know you. I think your fat ass had a couple burgers and fries. Might need to hop at the gym like with Kai.
My ass is right size for your big ass nose, man.
Get off the screen, man. We can see from you.
Whoa.
Lewis's reactions.
What?
What's funny is
Look at Super Tommy. Super Tommy Tuchel's tweet. Can you put it up? I don't know if it's true.
Todd Bowley personally called Frenkie de Jong several days ago. Dutchman listened and reiterated his desire to fulfill his contract with Barca from Relevo. Let me see. I didn't see Absolute Chelsea post that, but I might still be up.
You didn't see Absolute Chelsea retweet that, right?
Nah.
Okay. Because that's what he's retweeting.
Yeah. I just saw it.
Yeah, no, he did. Yeah, that.
Spice.
So it's true, man. It means it's true then.
I guess. I think so. Oh yes, Bowley's in here. What are you telling me?
No, but Chelsea are gonna keep trying apparently.
Hello, parent.
Like I already said, I think this is a deal that happens later on in the window, so I expect it to take
time, bro.
How late? Because these guys don't have they can't register new players, bro.
And the longer that takes, the more desperate they'll get.
So we might have to send someone to talk to
the closer to the 1st of September we get, the more desperate they'll get.
No, exactly. but Scott, they need their first game is next week.
No, but Kai, they have until. So they won't be able to play the first game, but they have until the 1st of September to register players. Otherwise, they can't play again, or they can't register them again until January.
And
they need to register them by the end of August. So the closer we get to the end of August, the more desperate they're going to get.
And the first payment is due on September the 2nd, based on what Leeds owners said.
I'm not sure. I still think they can't play even this weekend unless they register.
No, they can't.
No, they can't.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. What are they going to do now? Who are they going to play?
They have enough team to play the first game.
They'll miss the first game. Like that's going to happen. They're going to miss the first game, but they're like the end of registration. Like the last point you can register players for the rest of the season is the end of is when the transfer window shuts.
That's the deadline.
Deadline day. That's the last moment you can register them, I believe.
That's a bit fucked for them though. So if they can't use the best players, they're gonna start.
Who cares? Fuck them,
man.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
bro, I don't care if Barcelona burns, bro. Like the whole city, not just the fucking football team. But I want De Jong to be a Chelsea player, and then after that, whatever happens to them, it's none of my concerns, man. You know. I don't care about
Can
Barcelona.
You imagine
as I said, the closer we get to the end of the window, the more desperate they're going to get, and they'll probably lower their demand. They're going to get desperate because they need to get rid of him.
If he comes to Chelsea, I'm getting a home kit with him at the back, bro.
I'm tempted to do the same. I'm even going to get.
Why would you ruin a player before he even comes?
What do you mean? I'm not mad, bro. I don't jinx players. When they play good, when they wear their shirt, they play good.
Man, jinx something else. He doesn't jinx anything else, man. He just jinx. Man, I don't like people putting the name.
Yeah, I don't put names at the back.
You don't put even a Chelsea jersey on, man. You put Juventus jersey on. You put Barcelona jersey. You don't even put Chelsea's jerseys on. Matter of fact, I never saw you in a Chelsea kit before.
Wait, Matt, I have a question.
Yeah, what?
In your Avi, there's a picture of you as a cartoon. Is that do you own a Chelsea shirt, or is that also?
Are you actually a cartoon character? I thought that's just gonna ask. Are you actually a cartoon character?
It's actually a serious question. I'm not.
No, I have like 5.
Are you a cartoon? Or are you a real boy?
I'm a big man. I'm a big boy. But I like stylish kids.
Can we edit that out to Lewis? I didn't like the way he said it, bro. It's tough, bro.
What was that?
No, you bench 135.
The way he said, "I'm a real boy," kind of suspicious, bro. I didn't.
Oh, come on, Matt. We can't be using that language, bro. Fucking hell.
Man. Stop it, man.
What I say?
Bit fucked, bro.
Man. Shut up. You bench 135.
Who was it that signed a new contract with Barca, by the way? Was it Jordi Alba or was it Sergio Roberto?
Sergio Roberto.
Oh, because he can't play either.
No. The three players that re-signed the contract either.
I was going to say, they had 3 players that re-signed 2 or 3 players that re-signed a new contract, and all the signings. You have Dembele, Roberto signed new contracts, and all the signings. None of them can play. They cannot register the players who signed a new contract. They've just sold their backup right back to Celta Vigo. They might be playing with no right back.
Now they got
No,
this.
you know what's crazy? You know what's crazy though? The fact is, like, this is one of the reasons why I don't like board ownership kind of crap. Like whenever you have like a president or whatever, because they just care about like their face, like whatever the club is underneath them. But then the other fuckers who gets it, he has to take care of everything, because the way that they sold the rights now, that is just temporary money, man.
Oh, did you hear what's the name that kid that
they're gonna struggle in the future?
No. Barcelona's young kid. What's his name? That bright star.
Gavi,
yeah. He said, "If what's his name coming
Pedri,
to the
not
team?"
Gavi. Pedri, I mean Pedri.
I don't know if that's true. I know
He's not signing a new contract.
He said he's not signing a new contract if that player comes to Barcelona.
Bernardo Silva. Yeah, if they sign
Oh
Bernardo
yeah,
Silva.
Silva. Yeah.
I don't know if that's true. I saw that.
But again, if they sign him to a new contract, they won't be able to register him either.
Yeah.
Bro, that like literally
It's a mess.
Fucking hell.
It's a mess, but for them doing all this stuff, it makes me feel like they do have a final trump card, which I think is the fourth lever.
Yeah, but
we're gonna do everything they can to push De Jong out, to get PK and Busquets to resign. But if that doesn't happen, they have a final contingency plan. They don't want to do it because it's going to cost them even more money. But I think from that they can actually sign those players.
I think some players won't be signed. I swear, could be one or two players that couldn't be signed, like maybe those re-signees. You see what I'm saying? I think one or two players won't be signed.
Free sign, Kessier or Christensen. Is that what you're talking about? The free sign?
No. I'm talking about Dembele and.
Oh, okay. And Roberto, or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Bro,
I don't think we're gonna get Silva from Manchester City.
But I don't know how the fuck they can. Oh my fucking god!
Bro, it's easy. They can. I'll put it to you this way. Yeah, you have. Let's say you take credit card. Yeah, you buy all of those fucking nice things that you want. You can, if you can afford it or not. Most likely not, right? Then you max out all those credit cards. You're still gonna have to fucking pay for those credit cards. Yeah, you buy the items, but those credit cards are gonna be paying, and they're gonna be with interest. In that case, everything that they sold the rights. So they're gonna make less money from seasons going forward, man. So they sold their soul for those players, man. It's not, like, oh my god, they just pull money and start printing money.
I agree with you, but at the same time, if they win win La Liga, they win the Championship League, because they do. If they sign all those players, they have a really strong team.
Yeah, but
really strong team.
It's not gonna fix their finances. Their finances are fucked.
Mike, and to the people that think that Frenkie, they're like Moya saying that Frenkie de Jong, maybe they have something and how they can sign just from one Frenkie. I'll tell you how. Frenkie de Jong on the books for them makes 600K a week.
Not 400. That's 400.
No. On the books, it's still 600. They ask him to make less, but he's still on the book 600. So for those players that they brought in, and they only brought in because they can keep him on the low wages for first year, they can sign technically 6 players if they're on the 6K, on the 100K. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, they're keeping all the wages down.
Yeah, they're keeping all the wages down. Don't get me wrong. Those players that they signed, like Rafinha is on the low wages.
But they still spend like high transfer fees, and those transfer fees came from.
Oh no, but they have the money for those.
They have the
It's
money.
not about that.
They have money.
And this is what I'll say to everyone that keeps saying about Barcelona they're going to go broke. They will never go broke as a club. They will never fully go broke.
See, that's the thing about the show.
They're not going to go broke, but they're not going to make the profit. They're not going to even make.
No, they will. Then that's the thing. In terms of actual, in terms of money. No. In terms of money they can spend, they will always have money. The problem isn't the money; it's the fact of they have a wage cap. Yeah, they have a wage cap they have to hit, and their wages go over that. That's what it is. In terms of money, they will always have money to spend.
Exactly.
Always. That's why they need it's the same with Real Madrid. It's just because of how those two clubs are run, they will always have money.
That's why they made the shell company. They have the money and they put that money into there. But then
that's what Abramovich did.
They'll always have money. It's just
Abramovich did that a couple of times.
Their wages, because their wages are fucked, they can't register players. That's all it is. Like, they'll have money. Like this is
They
why
have
even the
money
thing
to
with the
pay
Leeds
for the
thing,
players. They don't have money to pay the salary.
this is why even with like the thing with the Leeds
We've
thing,
got
they'll
Andrew
pay
St.
that.
Louis.
They'll 100% pay that, but they just can't register players because of the wage cap. It's nothing about like actual how much money they have. They have money. Trust me, they have money.
Those levers that they're pulling, they're gonna bite them in going forward, man. They're potentially selling their stocks, like how much they're actually worth. So they're gonna be worth a lot less money than they are now.
I also heard another reason.
It's
another
gonna hit
reason
them in 2
why-
or 3 years.
Another reason why they're buying such like high-profile, marketable players is because that can help them to make money more, like in the future. Because when they show that they have such a high marketable team, that can bring in more revenue.
That's all good, but when you sell some of your marketing right, like what is it, like 35%?
Oh yeah, I mean
that
they're
money is
buying-
that you're gonna make. It's gonna go to Spotify. It's gonna go to different vendors.
yeah,
It's not
you're
gonna
right.
go straight to your pocket.
Yeah.
So in the future, it's gonna bite. They're not gonna be as sustainable. They're doing like a lot of like nice things now, but it's a short gain. The long term, it's gonna bite them. It's gonna bite them hard. But if they want to do all of this, like to act like they're, everything is fine, but that's up to them.
They are
Because
banking
with
on
Barcelona, it's
Spani.
gonna be the same thing like the previous one. They're gonna blame him, like what they're doing now with this guy. He was corrupt, blah blah blah. So they have this guy who's gonna spend, and the guy after him is gonna be basically, and he's gonna be covered in shit, and it's gonna go to the next president and the one after and the one after. That's why I've never wanted presidentially, like to have a president at Chelsea. I always wanted an owner, because we have long-term vision. These guys, they have like, and just as far as how presidency goes, and that's what it's a very limited way of thinking.
Yeah, see the comments in the chat. Like some billionaire is going to buy them. That's the point. Barcelona they're never going to go out.
Yeah.
They're always going to exist. And another tactic again in buying these players now is they have a lucrative, marketable team. And if they go under, someone will buy them. Someone's going to buy Barcelona that has Lewandowski and have and all these players. They're going to survive.
The club itself does not lose value. The problem is if the club, somebody comes to buy them, that means that he will buy them as a debt. But it's, you see what I'm saying? But it's still I don't know, like it's like you buying what's the name, Lamborghini with flat tire.
Right.
You can fix the tire. That's it.
It's still a Lamborghini. It's a small issue to deal with.
Yeah, but the billions that they put, I don't know. We'll see what happens, isn't it? It's
Well,
not. It's
look,
not.
if Chelsea, look,
if you think,
look, Chelsea as a club,
not
as prestigious as Bayern Barcelona on the money wise. Do you see what I'm saying? It will be a billionaire that can buy it.
Chelsea
and overturn the whole thing.
But he has to pay all the debts that they're carrying up, all the credits that they're using, the levers.
So the Bowley paid 1.5 bill debt for Chelsea.
Yeah, but the difference is Barcelona. They will never be sold to a club because they have a different system in that.
No.
Well,
that system can vote to be sold. All that happens, those shareholders will get the money based on share account. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah, I understand what you're saying. I just don't see it happening for Barcelona, man.
Oh, okay, of course, because those shareholders, they know how much
their own shares are worth.
Oh, exactly. Do you see how you don't have idea how not often those opportunity comes as the big clubs gets for sale? You see, if Arsenal is gonna be for sale, it will be in minutes when the buyers will be lining up. For example, Barcelona, it will be hours, and people like billionaires will be lining up. It's a really, really prestigious thing. Chelsea, what Roman Abramovich did from $500 million, 400 million. He bought the Chelsea for 400 million and raised it all the way to 4.2 bills.
Yeah, but to be fair,
mad.
Chelsea, when he bought Chelsea were like a top 4 kind of team. You know what's crazy though?
It's not about that. It's okay. Chelsea was a top 4 team, but was Chelsea's a $4 billion company?
Yeah, still
no, but there weren't that money in football anyway.
Exactly.
Yeah, it wasn't like
but
that.
Still,
it still has a potential to grow even more. So
exactly.
You know what's funny? All this Liverpool fans say that Chelsea didn't exist for Roman Abramovich. We literally finished like higher than them for the majority of the Premier League before even Roman Abramovich came in. Like Liverpool in the Premier League, most of the time they were like a top 7 team, top 7, top 6.
They won one title in 30 years, and they're talking about Arsenal.
Yeah.
Arsenal won one in 30 years.
Arsenal won 3 in 20 years. Yeah.
Well, Lewis, I was just saying that thing you just took down, but
yeah, I saw that. But
how true is that?
We already discussed.
But
I've been away for like a week. I was on vacation. But what's going on with Fofana? Is that gonna happen?
That still looks like it might happen. Chelsea are going to try an 80 mil bid.
Why didn't you just transfer?
No, man. I was with my wife and the family. Couldn't look at Twitter. Yeah. It doesn't work like
85 to 90 million for De Jong is going to be what it takes to get that deal across the line.
All right.
And I think Chelsea are actually going to pay that. All cash up front.
You mean Fofana? You said De Jong. You mean Fofana?
Fofana.
Yeah, Fofana. Yeah.
Fofana and De Jong. That's like 170.
Do you guys think it's worth paying all that money for him?
We have to overspend and distort the window. So world-class midfielder, and it's a defender that's been world-class since he stepped foot in the Premier League.
He did have that injury. It's not an ACL, but like I know he played a few games at the end of this last season after he came back. Does he look like?
Yeah, and Leicester City's form pulled up. They went from 14th to 8th.
Yeah, maybe he's worth it.
Basically,
all I've heard, I've spoken to Neil about it for a long time. He said like Fofana came in and immediately hadn't skipped a beat. Didn't skip a single beat from before his injury.
We have to overpay because we shot ourselves on the foot last season.
He's also very young, so that price goes into like 10 years or something.
Yeah,
it's a long-term investment for us, which is why I think it is kind of you can justify it.
Yeah,
obviously, he has to justify on the pitch too, but yeah.
I think the
if
player
he's such
himself
a
very
big
good.
Chelsea fan, why does he fucking go and ask for a transfer request? I could never
Because
understand.
I don't know. Doesn't want to disrespect the club.
Probably just out of respect for the club.
Fuck that.
Go tell him that guy.
I will, bro. I wrote him.
Although we can't really say respect when you've been liking all these sorts of tweets and all of that.
Yeah, exactly. I think he's just scared of Brandon Rodgers because he looked like a cyborg, bro.
Brandon Rodgers.
I think Fofana's good on the ball.
Beautiful Herman Green.
I mean, from what I've seen, he looks good on the ball. I don't think he's shaky or nothing.
He's not a
His reading of the game's really good. He's always in the right positions.
I know,
was Rudiger good on the ball? Do you guys consider?
Yeah, Rudiger was good on the
ball.
Rudiger
was good on the ball.
He was decent on the ball.
Yeah, he was just a bit of a long shot spammer.
Good. Like his switches of play and his passing range was very good.
You gotta admit, he has the IQ of a jellyfish, bro.
Sometimes
the ball for me are two different
things. He makes those stupid lapses. Like
he like just kicks the ball sometimes, man, for the sake.
That's a shot from fucking halfway in my days.
The weekly long shot and everything.
He still does that as well. Real Madrid has done it twice.
That's why the Real Madrid fan is like, hey, okay.
I'm glad he scored before he left, though. Thank God.
Yeah, he got that goal.
That's why Tuchel could use him on the left because he could do those switch of plays on his left foot as well.
Yeah, and that's why Koulibaly is such a seamless addition for both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Koulibaly is the biggest upgrade, man. Oh my days.
Even Mark Goldberg was like, Martinez will never be a Koulibaly. I was like, no shit, bro. Who the fuck is Martinez?
I'm actually like positive about where we're going because all of our signings, you could clearly see they were improved the team and they are best
for
players.
me, I won't judge now. I'm gonna wait till the end of it because I do think we need attackers.
No. I'm not saying now, but I'm saying I'm hopeful because of the type of players we're getting.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you know what I mean?
Same.
I think under the previous, you would have waited to get Koulibaly, wouldn't have happened. Cucurella wouldn't have happened. I don't think we got those players.
But do you think we'll even pay that 90 million for Fofana? I think at this point we have to.
Who's breathing in the microphone? Like,
Kai, it's a fucking breathing.
It's not. Why is it automatically goes to Kai, bro?
Because we could see your Avi, like the mic.
Either you or Farter.
Yeah, it's fun.
He's blowing his mic. Stop blowing your mic.
Farter is not here.
I said it's
Mike, you shouldn't be talking about anybody blowing anything, bro. The rumors about you saying all the what's it called? The panelists putting things in your mouth, bro.
Yeah, that's Lewis. He does.
We are not bringing this back up, bruv.
Hey, actually,
We are
I'm
not
gonna bring up.
fucking doing
Hang on. Oh, wait, what's his Mendy contract payment?
Oh God.
He's getting more money.
No,
Not
Kepa's
for
not taking
Kepa.
his spot. You don't need to start asking these questions.
What
I know
the-
where you're
You're
going.
obsessed with Mendy, man.
How does he deserve a pay upgrade?
You're out of your
I
depth
mean,
now.
he's been our goalkeeper and he won us a Champions League. I mean, that's kind of warranted.
I mean, yeah, actually, I'm not gonna lie. Actually, he's getting paid pennies compared to everyone else. I'm not gonna lie, but
Yeah, they're not pay- Are they even
just the
paying him, bro?
timing.
He's
Was
here
it
for the
50?
vibes, man. They're
I
paying
think he
him
was
for
getting
vibes.
paid 50, right? 50,000 a
52.
week. Yeah,
Yes,
that's not bad.
pennies and cents, man. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of stuff.
Bro,
But
Did
Wasn't
anybody
like-
did anybody
wasn't
heard
like
anything from Class F? Is he on a suicide watch yet?
yeah,
Nah,
he told me
he
he's
just said he's retired from the streams.
yeah, he
maybe
said
he
he's
was
taking
suicide
a
watch,
break.
but I wasn't looking, Alex.
He's a Spurs fan
Wasn't
now,
looking
and
for his
he's
suicide
and he's under
No,
12
I
coach.
Wasn't
just-
looking.
I looked the other
I mean,
way,
he-
man.
To be fair, he made it pretty clear that he was only here for Timo, so I'm not surprised he's gone now.
Yeah.
He said he's taking a long break, so we'll see if he.
So is that the
back.
same thing when Kepa leaves?
Unfortunately,
He's got his Napoli jersey ready.
Yeah, who are you
As a
gonna
board.
back, Matt? When
Actually, he's not going. Kepa,
I
we
think
stuck
I
with
think
Yeah, he's
I
not
think
going.
it was
He's not
I
going.
think it was well, can't blame guy for wishing.
unfortunately, guys,
Kepa's
he's not leaving.
Kepa's like HIV, man. You can't get rid of him, bro. You can keep trying to do things.
Nothing
but
gets, bro. He doesn't even.
stays with you
you
forever,
know,
bro. Can't cure.
Bro, he doesn't
That's
get
Kepa.
HIV, bro. Nothing gets past him.
But you can
Doesn't need no
like
condoms.
you can do things to not catch it. Like you can put the
Yeah.
condom
You
on
can.
the mat.
That's
right?
where the
You
loan
can
comes
catch
in,
nothing.
Alex.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
where the
yeah,
loan.
but
That's the loan. You
No,
know?
but the thing is, he doesn't need to have one on.
Clean
He-
up the
you know,
wages, bro. To treat the wages.
To be fair,
doesn't- he doesn't- he doesn't
when
need to have one on,
consider
bro.
all the deadwood that it looks like we're clearing so far this season, I
Yeah,
would
well,
take
clean up.
Impressive. It's impressive.
We've done
Yeah,
it. We've
saying
cleared all that there wood.
even
Bro,
Joe
if-
looks
if-
like he's
if-
going along.
Yeah, but if we keep
Look,
winning these
look.
players, man, the kitmen are gonna have to start playing in their positions, man. The ratio of selling to buying is not right. Man.
No, we still have many players. Like Saturday squad. There we are like I think 6 to 8
Oh, what
players.
happened? What are we gonna do with all those players? I can't breathe. What are we gonna do? Oh my god, the squad is too dead. What
Are
are
you
we
having
gonna do to those players?
Alex? Are you having an orgasm?
Who has orgasm like that, man?
No more
Exactly.
paranoia.
Is that how you have orgasm?
You need to see a doctor, bro.
If you do, you.
I'm actually a cyborg. I'm actually a cyborg.
I don't care, man. People do have things outside too.
I'm actually a cyborg. I don't know what that is. But I was saying, like the Mike Deer squad on Saturday, we still have like 6 to 8 players that we are not including in the squad. So more dead would have to get out.
Sarr is leaving.
Yeah.
Sarr is leaving.
So going on
Sarr,
loan,
Barkley,
Werner's
after
leaving,
players.
Loftus
Kepa's
claps me in
leaving.
his cheeks.
That
Yeah,
wood is a
leaving.
fans too.
Lewis, Kepa, you can't. I told you, you can't get rid of HIV, bro. Kepa can stay
We
forever, bro.
can,
Kai,
yeah, but we
shut up,
we
bro.
can
He
we
doesn't
can
get
we can
HIV.
do it. We can.
Yeah, we
get
can
rid.
treat it, aka alone, but you can't get rid of it.
Because he's
We
he's
can,
proper
yeah,
Charles.
untraceable. Fair enough.
Bro,
Fair
Kepa doesn't get HIV, bro. His girl told me he doesn't use condoms in the bed because.
Come on, guys, change topic on that.
Why are you, Matt? You're a
That's-
weird guy.
I'm
bro.
just
Stop.
telling you. I'm just saying it.
Matt,
That's why
man.
I'm
Matt,
just
you
reporting you guys the news. I'm
like
reporting
That
you guys the
HIV
news.
topic is not funny, guys.
Matt, I didn't.
Don't
Yeah, I
make
didn't
a
give
joke
you
about that.
consent, Matt.
I
Sorry.
thought I did it with
Oh,
all
shit.
overdid it with all the AC stuff, but fucking hell, Matt.
Yeah, that's a bit sus, Matt. Come on, bro.
I'm just reporting the news. Like that's what she told me.
June was 2 months ago, bro. Come on, stop.
Your sauce is Heinz, bruv. It's ketchup, mayonnaise, burger sauce.
No, it's
Ain't
that
no
dodgy
real
garlic sauce. That's Matt. Matt is that dodgy garlic sauce that nobody buys.
That is a peri tamer sauce.
What? No, Nando's peri peri. Everyone
Nah,
loves.
nah. You're fucking plain, bruv, or lemon and herb.
You're stevia ketchup. That's what you are, man.
Yeah, well, on that point, where we go and wrap up the stream here. Big up everyone that's locked in. We've hit the 2-hour mark. Big up everyone. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place, same channel. Hopefully, Werner's gone by then. Hopefully, we have a player coming in by then too. But
Matt
we'll have
is
to
the
wait
guy
and see.
that
There will be
wink
new topics by then. Take
wanks
care.
with condom on.
Like and subscribe. And yeah,
What?
up to yourself. I didn't even hear that stuff.